We want to bring hope across the nation and empower leaders, because activating is what we're about, activating solutions. So if everybody can come back, find your seats. If you thought the last 2.5 hours was powerful, just buckle up. We've got the second half, which is just going to fly by. So our next guest, you had the pleasure of already hearing from Ivan Raiklin. And let me just give you a little bit of background. Ladies and gentlemen, warriors of the wake apocalypse, defenders of the divine dream that is America, brace yourself for a systematic shockwave of superlative splendor that will shatter the sound barrier of sanity and catapult your soul into the stratosphere of the star-spangled ecstasy. We're not introducing a mere mortal. Oh no, we're unleashing a cosmic colossal, a hyper-heroic hurricane of heroism whose very footprint echoed like thunderclaps of thunderous triumph across the multiverse. This guy's balls are not just the size of Mount Rushmore. No, sir. These are planetary orbs forged into the fire of freedom, dwarfing Jupiter and Saturn combined, swinging with the gravitational pull that yanks tyranny straight into the black hole of oblivious. Behold, if your fetal eyes, human eyes, can handle the glare, Ivan Raiklin, the most mega, magnificent, ultra, ultimate, exequential, quantum American to ever explode into the existential plane of this puny planet, sprawled from the paramoral plasma of patriotism. Ivan didn't just emerge, he detained into the existence as a Green Beret Godzilla, a special force supernova who didn't storm Hell's Gates. He drop-kicked them into another dimension, outwitting adversaries with an intelligent, so razor sharp, it slices through dark matter like a lightsaber through the liberal logic. But wait, that's child's play for this benevolent of bravery. He swamped his beret for a baganza of super prudence, morphing into the constitutional crusade who pulverized deep state demons with affidavits of inhalation, leaving globalists, ghouls, gasping in the vacuum of relentless villainism. Ivan Raiklin, the intergalactical integrity implorer, the election exorcist extraordinary, the sole savior who unearthed the entrenched enigma of elite evil with the fury of 1,000 freedom fuel fusion bombs. His courage, it eclipsed the sun, casting shadows over the Everest and making the Maria Trench look like a kiddie pool. Balls. Forget it, Texas. These bad boys encompass entire galaxies, boldly bouncing back against the big bang of bureaucracy baloney. He's dismantled child sex trafficking tentacles that warp around worlds, vaporized, veiled Islamic invasions with volleys of violent valor, and turbocharged health, faith, education, and civic like a one-man warp-driven warrior fleet. Testifying before Congress, he turned those hearings into heroic holocaust for hypocrisy. Rallying billions, he doesn't rally. He surrects revolutions from the ashes of apathy. Tyrants don't tremble. They spontaneously combust at the mere whisper of his name. This isn't just a speaker, folks. This is an opaque alpha omega of America awesomism, an unchanged ultron of unadulterous liberty who makes Hercules look like a hesitant house cat, and Paul Revere like a sleepy snail on a Sunday stroll. Alvin Rankin doesn't stride. He hyperjumps across the ideology infidel, slamming the stake of sovereignty so proudly that no nefarious nimble can nudge it. And right here at the Stay Awake America National Tour, he primed to propel us into a pulse of unite, engagement, and activation for local legends with national nukes, because with Ivan at the helm, victory is inevitable. It's an interdimensional inevitability etched into the fabric of fate itself. Explode with applause. Stand to your feet. Explode with applause for the grandest, the boldest, the most balls-blasting, reality-rendering beacon of bravery in the annals of all existence, Ivan Raiklin.
Wait a second. Amy, I think you have me confused with Dan Bongino's introduction. I'm just Ivan Raiklin.
Wow.
Ooh.
Can you repeat that?
All right, so I think I'm going to be moving around. Check, 1, 2, 3. Before I start, who has never heard of me? Good. So let me go into the deep heart of the deep state. So let me get a sense of the audience here. What do you want me to talk about? All right, whatever. No one wants to talk. I'll talk for the next hour. And I'll take I'll take questions as we kind of go. If you want, if you think of something. So this will be more of a casual, informal interaction. But what I want to focus in on tonight is specifically this. We are January 11th, 2026, 9 days away from 1 year, 1 year and 5 days away from when Congress, the Republican House and Senate, took over. And I want to give a report card with your involvement on what grade you would give the House, the Senate, and the executive branch. Good? Yes. You need to participate. because I want to hear from you guys, because I don't want it just to be a message from me. I want to understand your sentiment so that we can convey it to the rest of the country. Deal? All right. So January 3rd of 2025, the Senate Sergeant at Arms became the chair of the Capitol Police Board. Does anybody know who that individual is? Most powerful position you've never heard of in our United States government. Senate Sergeant at Arms became the chair of the Capitol Police Board. Anyone? Is that a yes? No. That's crickets. Okay, now that I got you on the edge of your seat, so the way it works is the chair of the Capitol Police Board runs the Capitol Police that decides on who to weaponize against and who they have dirt on within the U.S. Capitol. Meaning, if you're the Senate Sergeant at Arms, you control all the IT infrastructure in the Senate and all the CCTV footage in the Senate. So, imagine you're the Senate Sergeant at Arms, and you can see everything going on 24/7, video cameras everywhere in the Senate chambers and in the Senate office buildings. Do you possibly have dirt on folks? What's the percentage? What percentage would you give that you have at least one person committing a transgression within your camera ecosystem? 100%? How many senators and or their staff would you give a percentage that have committed a transgression over the last year while the chair of the Capitol Police Board, Senate Sergeant at Arms, was the chair? 65 members of Senate? 75? 85? 95? Who knows? Well, the Senate Sergeant at Arms knows. Possibly. But it doesn't end at the CCTV footage. Because the Senate Sergeant at Arms also manages every single email, senate.gov. So if Elon Musk purchases Twitter 1.0 and has access to all that stuff we talked about earlier tonight, imagine what the Senate Sergeant at Arms has on every single senator and every single staffer of a senator. So match the video with the email communications. Now what does that percentage go to? 100%. Is that a control mechanism? Is that a blackmail scheme? Potentially? Okay, I would agree. So, who is the boss of the Senate Sergeant at Arms? Who appoints the Senate Sergeant at Arms? The Senate Sergeant at Arms, sir. Vice President. Well, it's the Senate Majority Leader. Who was the Senate Majority Leader on January 3rd of last year? John Thune. And who did he appoint? Well, you don't know because you didn't tell me when I asked you the first place, so I'm going to answer. Jennifer Hemingway. No one knows who Jennifer Hemingway is. Well, let's take a look and research her. Okay, I just did. Jennifer Hemingway used to be Chief of Ops over in the House side for a guy by the name of Paul Ryan. You see how this works, folks? Paul Ryan, the guy that is still on the board of Faux News over here down the street in Manhattan. Paul Ryan, the former Speaker of the House. So why did John Thune pick Jennifer Hemingway to be his Senate Sergeant at Arms? You want my opinion? Yes. Thank you. I think that he picked her so that she could continue to perpetuate the January 6th Fedsurrection cover-up. Why? Because you can. And what did J.D. Vance do this last year? Since he was the he was the president of the Senate, still is the president of the Senate. According to the Constitution, there's no such thing as a Senate Majority Leader. That's a political partisan position. It's not a constitutional position. The president of the Senate, a.k.a. the vice president, is the senior official in the Senate. Okay? Make sense so far? So J.D. Vance could have simply done the following. Hey, I don't think I want Jennifer Hemingway. Paul Ryan doesn't really align with President Trump. Now, does he? And I probably don't want to hire anybody that's loyal to Paul Ryan, because we kind of want to get to the bottom of the January 6th Fedsurrection. Last time I checked, JD. Am I wrong? No. Okay. So what would be the answer sheet knowing this? What would you recommend to J.D. Vance during the last year when he could have picked the Senate Sergeant at Arms and then directed the Senate Sergeant at Arms to do what?
Release the footage.
Release what? Everything CCTV related to J6, right? What about any emails?
Release them.
Release them as it relates to, I don't know, the Senate communicating, the Capitol Police Board communicating with the Capitol Police, with the weaponization of January 6ers, the cover-up. Never been done before. But it's within the authority of the, when you look at Title II U.S. Code, Chapter 29, I read that on a daily basis.
It's always a first for
No. That's the authority that has the authority to do this, right? Because under Title II U.S.C. 1979B, it's the Capitol Police Board that decides what is considered security information and what isn't, and what to release and what not to release. So every year, the chair of the Capitol Police Board rotates from Senate Sergeant at Arms to House Sergeant at Arms. So let's stay on this topic. Say, for example, January 3rd of 25 until January 3rd of 2026, which was last week. Did you hear J.D. Vance doing anything along those lines? Why not? Is he that busy? Does he have an appetite to expose the January 6th Fedsurrection based on that inaction? You're answering my questions, so those watching, I didn't give an answer. The audience is giving you the answer. So don't blame me for people being critical, or as Dan Bongina likes to say, you're being black pillars. Did I mispronounce it? You get my point. All right, I'll lay off of him a little bit. We basically already destroyed him this week. He crashed out completely. He totally crashed out this week. So, January 3rd of, excuse me? The question is, are we talking about a corporation? I know where you're going with that question. I will currently not answer that. I can talk to you afterwards, okay? Because you're going to take me back to the 1860, 1870. Most of society is not where you're at. And I think that it's an easier lift to address the last decade of treason first, and then we can get to some of that other stuff. Deal? Okay, so last year, that's the vice president, okay? So now you know Jennifer Hemingway, she's there, but she's no longer the chair of the Capitol Police Board. It's the House Sergeant at Arms, who was appointed, his name is Bill McFarland. I figured you probably don't know his name either. I get it. Most people don't. Most members of Congress don't even know this, okay? What I'm laying out to you. So Bill McFarland was appointed by whom? The guy we threw out because he didn't release the CCTV footage. A guy by the name of Kevin McCarthy. But thankfully, Matt Gaetz, yay, removed him.
Amen.
So then we upgraded about 1% to a Mike Johnson. Let's see, are there any kids out here? Are we on, is this a family-friendly show? No, I'm not going to say that again. Let's just say Bill McFarland was appointed by Kevin McCarthy. Okay, so you probably know what Kevin McCarthy's about. And when he was removed and Mike Johnson was put in that position as the Speaker of the House, guess who stayed in as the House Sergeant at Arms? Bill McFarland, Kevin McCarthy's guy. So right now, he's the chair of the Capitol Police Board. So if you remember what I said about the Senate Sergeant at Arms, does the House Sergeant at Arms have control over the House's side of the CCTV footage? No. Yes. Does the House Sergeant at Arms have control and management of the email systems that end in mail.house.gov? Yes. How many members of the 435 in the House, along with the delegates like the so-called Congresswoman Stacey Plastic, does he have dirt on? If he combines all the CCTV footage, all the emails, all the official phones distributed out to people that are of the property of the House, what percentage would you give on the House side of it? You gave almost 100% on the Senate side. How much blackmail does the House Sergeant at Arms have if he wants it? 90%. Things to think about, right? Another potential blackmail move. Now, if you know this, which now you do, is that a mechanism to control people's votes? If there's blackmail to be had? So on one aspect, you have the Epstein stuff. Another aspect, you have every single Democrat basically nuking their own Twitter account after Elon purchased it and going over to Blue Sky. That's an indicator that they're trying to hide something. And oh, by the way, one of those Twitter accounts that was nuked was a guy by the name of the Nobody Guy Twitter account. At the Nobody Guy. When you look at the name associated with the Nobody Guy, it is the account, or was the account, of Thomas Aquinas DeBias, or known as Tad DeBias. Every U.S. Capitol Police officer knows that name. Why? Because he is still the general counsel of the U.S. Capitol Police. So if I'm reading off a statute giving the authority to what I explained with the Capitol Police Board, who's going to be the official in the U.S. Capitol Police that will give his assessment or analysis on how to interpret a certain part of the statute of 2 U.S.C. 29? It's going to be him, Thomas Aquinas DeBias. So if Nancy Pelosi on January 6th, in the run-up of January 6th, says, hey, Tad, I think the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers are going to be our focus. See if you can get a jurisdictional hook on them to weaponize against them. Deal? Coup? And then you had the next 5 years of weaponization from there. But I got ahead of myself because we're trying to give grades, right? So what grade so far, based on what I just explained to you, would you give J.D. Vance in his role as the President of the Senate? An F is what I hear mostly? Why is that? Is it a priority to do exactly what I just laid out to this audience?
100%. I didn't realize it was that simple.
That's it. So what can he do? J.D. Vance could order the Senate Sergeant, could appoint a Senate Sergeant at Arms as the chair of the Capitol Police Board to go ahead and say, hey, U.S. Capitol Police Chief, we're going to remove you if you don't order your general counsel to disclose it all. Oh, you don't want to release it? Go find another job. And you know what? Guess what? Maybe we get a Stuart Rhodes to be the Senate Sergeant at Arms. Because guess what? I have full confidence that if a Stuart Rhodes is the Senate Sergeant at Arms, you bet your ass that's getting released. Like same day. Am I wrong? Okay, so now, what's that? I would be honored to do it. All it takes, I'll be your general counsel at the U.S. Capitol Police. We can tag team it for 2 weeks. I just need a couple weeks. I need less than Elon Musk's 130 days of being an SGE, because I already know where to look and who to ask to where to look. That's what the last 5 years has been, while the J6ers, to include Stewart and Trennis, I mean, struggling through life and in prison and solitary confinement. So, that's J.D. Vance. You missed your opportunity, sir. But you have redemption. I like redemption. You can still appoint a new Senate Sergeant at Arms that will help facilitate the new the new chair of the Capitol Police Board over on the House side to do exactly what we just laid out. You can say, you know what, I didn't know my authorities. I don't read Ivan Raiklin's tweets. I get it. I've been telling you this for a year, but that's all right. You're busy. I get it. Now, let's go to remember, the Vice President and the Senate President, it's the only person that has dual branch authority in our constitutional construct. Meaning before it was Pence, now it's J.D. Vance, right? Keep that in mind. All right, so Article 1, House. How do you think Speaker Mike Johnson's doing the last year?
F.
All right, I hear an F, I hear weak.
Coward.
Now, what could he do?
Release it all.
He could release it all, right? He could order his Sergeant at Arms to release it all related to January 6th. What else can he do? Didn't he just pass a law along with John Thune and the rest of the Senate and the House to order the release of the Epstein files? And President Trump signed off on it. Why are there not mass demonstrations at the Department of Justice to compel Scam Blondie and Todd Blanche and Jolene Ann Loria, who I'm going to talk about as well, because no one's ever heard of that name. Who's heard of Todd Blanche?
Isn't that Trump's attorney?
No. Who's heard of Scam Blondie? Pam Bondi. Excuse me. Pam Bondi. All right, Pam Bondi's the Attorney General. She heads up the DOJ. She spends most of the time down in Florida. She comes up to the White House and to Fox News to do her hits in D.C. and then flies back. So how much of an Attorney General do you think she is? Okay, so then we leave it to Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General. He's up there working it. A little history on Todd Blanche. He represented President Trump over here in New York, right? How well did he do defending President Trump?
Terrible.
Is he winless? Did he win on any of the counts?
No conviction.
So it's winless, right? So he's appointed as the Deputy Attorney General. What's that?
He failed upwards.
He fails up.
Is he the one blocking the pardons for Stewart?
And I hear a lot of people telling me, a lot of sources, those listening in, not just one, not just two, everybody I talk to. Todd Blanche is the reason, one of them, why you still haven't gotten the Oath Keepers pardoned, Proud Boys pardoned, Tina Peters is still rotting in prison, and Shane Lamont is still in prison.
So why isn't Trump firing?
So there was a question, Mr. President, from the crowd asking, why have you not fired Todd Blanche yet? Keep in mind, Todd Blanche, wasn't he an attorney over at the SDNY before he was the Deputy Attorney General? Before he represented President Trump?
Yes.
That'd probably be yes. Who Who else do we have over at SDNY? Maureen Comey? I wonder if they were colleagues. Because up until, I don't even know if he's changed his registration from being a Democrat. Todd Blanche, that is. Maybe he did. Whatever. Just some things to consider. So anyway, you got Todd Blanche at the DOJ. You have the most important person that you've never heard of at the DOJ. Jolene Ann Loria. Someone cue the song. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Ann Loria. Yeah, you need to know that name. Why do you need to know Jolene Ann Loria's name? Imagine this. Someone at the DOJ at the AAG level, Associate Attorney General, couple down from the Deputy Attorney General. She runs and manages all HR, human resources. So if she's a DEI zealot, and she's still in her position right now, do you think she's making sure that folks like you in this room and those in your network is she doing everything in her power to stop you from getting in? Yes. Okay. Okay. Also, she headed up IT. Use the example I just used with the House Sergeant at Arms, Senate Sergeant at Arms. If you're heading up IT and the DOJ, you might have dirt on people, right? You can pry in there, peer in there. But that's not the most important thing. 18 years she's been the controller at the DOJ. Who's in the finance community here? Any CPAs? Accountants? Controller? You get to manage and observe and plan and policy all the budget for the entire department. 18 years. Deep state much? So think about it. Imagine you put yourself in the shoes of Jolene Ann Loria. For 18 years, you've had a role in determining where money goes within the department. And oh, by the way, doesn't the Department of Justice do like asset forfeiture, asset seizure, as they do raids on drug kingpins, all the criminal activity, and then it's auctioned off, right? Where does that money go? Who manages the money and decides what to do with it next? Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. Ann Loria is probably the one that you need to know.
Can Jolene be fired, or is she part of the permanent deep state?
Well, apparently my sources tell me that Scam Blondie is so impressed with Jolene because she is just giving her the best ego of her life. The reason why the introduction, folks, was that just ridiculous? That was just disgustingly, fantastically ridiculous introduction. And I'm glad you sat through it and listened to it. The point I'm trying to make with that introduction is you have people in positions that are A, incompetent and or have such an ego that they're blind to reality. Okay? And they're manipulated to keep the deep state in order. The deep state knows. It's so easy to handle people that have such massive egos. They're not there for the mission. They're just there for the position. So to answer your question, I think I answered it. Why doesn't Pam Bondi do anything with Jolene? Jolene, everybody. Jolene and Loria has to go. Right? What a dead crowd. That's it. I'm done, I guess. Or do you want me to keep going? Keep going? Okay. Or you just engaged, listening. So, the deep state of the deep state in the legislative branch is, check on learning, Thomas Aquinas DeBias. He's got it all. He's got all the receipts on all the weaponization for J6 stuff. All the DOJ stuff, you're probably going to get it from Jolene Ann Loria. And if not from her, you turn the screws on her, man, is she going to give you every financial movement for the last 18 years within the department And you're probably going to be able to, wait, Elon, did you do something like Doge and stuff over at the USAID? It'd be nice for you to do something next over at the DOJ. Because the DOJ is the top organization above the FBI, ATF, right? U.S. Marshals. Yes. Who would like to see that? Good, I'm not alone. Woo! Thank you. So let's keep going. FBI. Well, we talked about DOJ. Now let's go one step lower. One of the organizations within the the Department of Injustice, or Just Us. FBI. Who are some names that we were so excited about the last year? Kash Patel, right? Yeah, he was here. Reawaken Tour. I was on stage with him before, right? Fantastic appointment. He wrote the book Government Gangsters. What happened to him? Wait, what happened to the Government Gangsters? What happened to him? Cricket. Wait, no, but come on. He's got Danny Boy Bongino by his side, folks. Whoa, wait, hold up. That guy's like MAGA America First Patriot like you've never seen before, Dan Bongino. What do you mean was? What happened to him? Say again? Well, so hold up, man. Ladies, back here. Come on, like that guy's a stud. Watch. Remember that video? Come on. You don't like that? That's like the most superlative, fantastical podcaster. Like, that introduction was for Dan Bongino, Amy. I don't know why you threw my name in there. Wrong one. Sheesh. So what happened to Dan Bongino, you think? Any ideas? Blackmail NDA. What was the first thing he promised he was going to do as soon as he got out of the... So here's the timeline on Dan Bongino. 2 months into it, he mentally checked out. 60 days on the job, if that. 60, 62. You can look it up. Use your favorite AI tool. Mentally checked out. Is that strength against the deep state? Checking out 62 days into your job? And then what? Then what happens? Then the Epstein files. What happened? Nothing there. Epstein killed himself. What are you talking about? Him and Kash were, I think they were over in Maria Bartiromo in Manhattan, right? Her studio. Or is it here in New Jersey? I think it's in New York here. So Maria Bartiromo asked Kash and Dan, what's up with Epstein? How many people believed him when he said that?
Nobody believed him.
They didn't believe themselves. They looked like they were lying. They knew it.
Somebody got to him.
Where's Dr. Judy? Dr. Judy, come up here real quick, just for a brief moment, because I want to make a very specific point here. You know anything about COVID? The pandemic.
Yes. Premeditated murder.
How much were you warning the world? Like, how long were you warning the world, to include Dan Bongino, that you might not want to take the jab?
2006.
2006? Okay.
2009.
So then if Dan Bongino supposedly has onset of cancer,
Right.
and he is told by his faux news handlers, and I think, was it Salem Media maybe, that you got to take the jab? Aren't you a doctor?
Professor.
Okay. So
I teach those
what would you
idiots.
recommend to Dan Bongino and his leadership over at Salem or wherever he was getting his money from.
That he certainly not take a shot that drives cancer that we've known since 1975.
But they're telling me it's safe and effective, Judy.
Right.
I want to take that. And I got to keep my job. I got to make my monies, my Benjamins. What do I do?
Get a fake injection.
Get a fake vax
Get
card?
the fake injection. You don't need a fake vax card. You just inject saline. Nobody knew what was in any of them.
But that's kind of immoral.
Sure.
But it'll protect you, won't it, Dan? And unfortunately, what did Dan end up doing? Jab over job.
Yeah.
Look it up. Thank you.
And they
Oh.
jabbed Biden and caused that lights are on, nobody home, and prostate cancer too.
So I'm going to thank you, Dr. Judy. So, Jolene. Louder. Do-si-do, where you at, Jolene? Jolene. And Loria. Hopefully you don't have a job tomorrow. I think that's going to stick now. Thank you. So, back to Dan Gino. So, okay, yeah, he ended up getting the jab. Tells a lot about a person, right? Even though he knew. He took, he didn't want to protect himself, so how are we supposed to expect somebody to be able to protect others if they're not going to protect themselves? I don't know. You make that decision. I have my own standard. My standard is, if you got vaccinated, you got no business in my government. You have no business in my government. Sounds like you guys agree. You can find a job as a podcaster. You can go ahead and block everybody that's critical of you. Oh, wait. He's doing that. Dan Bongino's doing all that. So let's go back to it. Why do you think somebody with that character and strength that succumbed to the jab said, yeah, I'm going to go and be the deputy director of the FBI. I'm going to do better than Andrew McCabe or all these other deep staters that Kash Patel's talking about? What happened? Somebody said blackmail. Coward. Compromised. What other words? Cuck. My favorite. Traitor. Ooh, harsh words over here. By the way, these are words that are watching in. I'm in front of probably the most America First patriots in the nation right now. Voted for Donald Trump 6 times. 3 in the primary, 3 in the general, served time in prison for him, went through lawfare as well with him, campaigned with him, for him, donated to him, fundraised for him. And this is the sentiment, Dan Bongino. So when you say, oh, we're going to kick out all the ones that are not in our movement, guess what? There are people in this crowd that are much more intelligent than you, Dan Bongino. Guaranteed. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about those in the crowd. And you know what I'm talking about. There's several. You're not going to pull one over on us. We're going to call a spade a spade. We defeated the domestic terrorist Democrats the last 4 years. The CCP-controlled Biden criminal syndicate terrorist, and came out with a win. Some of us served. Some of us got weaponized against, lawfare. We defeated them, okay? Here's my stance. If those that we empowered to make sure that our constitutional order isn't reset back to normal don't do that, Houston, we got a problem. And it's not only in Houston. It's in Ronkonkoma. It's in Minnesota. It's in Virginia, where I live. It's throughout the whole country. It's in Ohio. We want wins. But if you're not going to provide them, we got to come up with solutions to make sure, with or without you, that we're going to secure those wins. Is anybody in agreement with me? So, what do I got? Negative 2 minutes? Okay. So I'm going to, I think at this point, I think we laid out the problem. Article 1 branch of government. We got Mike Johnson. We call him what? No balls, no Johnson, Mike Johnson, right? We got John Thune. I mean, he got some confirmations. Okay. We'll give him. He actually surprised me. I thought he was going to be more of like a Mitch McConnell cuck, but he did a little bit better. So that's the legislative branch. And then we got the executive branch. We just talked about the DOJ and the FBI. We didn't talk about the CIA much, did we? That's important. Didn't we have a problem with the CIA under John Brennan? What has changed? Has anybody, like how many people were fired that are still loyal to John Brennan over at the CIA? And how many of those that are still affiliated to the 51 spies who lied that said the Biden laptop had all the earmarks of the Russian information op? Very few. So then, hey, John Radcliffe, guess what? America starting to kind of question in this way, if everybody's saying that the Epstein blackmail operation was a Mossad, CIA, MI6 thing, how is it that the DOJ has information to release, but no one's asking the CIA of it? Wait, who's the CIA director? John Radcliffe. Wait, Johnny boy, where you been since you got confirmed as I was standing right behind you during your confirmation process? I think you got more juicy evidence to release related to the Epstein files. Wouldn't you think? Yeah. So, Mr. Massey, I think you got another thing to do. Yeah. You might want to amend that law or add another one to the books to compel the CIA to release it as well. And if they don't, this is where the solutions come to play. Ready to take notes? Okay. The problems are the CIA still, the DOJ, and the FBI, regardless of if it's Cash, Dan, or whatever. We need to shut them down, right? Well, how do we shut them down? This is where it's going to get very uncomfortable, even for this crowd, on the solution. So are you on the side of truth? Or are you on the side of preserving your number one draft pick? So this is where it's going to get very uncomfortable, I think, moving forward in this country. This is what I mean by that. Remember when President Trump called in Lauren Boebert into the Situation Room a few weeks ago, about 2 months ago, and said, hey, don't vote with Thomas Massey on releasing the Epstein files. And remember when he also said, hey, Marjorie, please don't do this. It's going to hurt a lot of my friends if you vote with Thomas Massey. What does that indicate to you? It's problematic, isn't it? The truth becomes problematic to many of us. Okay. As soon as Lauren Boebert said, no, I'm going to go ahead and join Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Nancy Mace to be the 4 Republicans to join with the Democrats. And then once that occurred, that's when the truth post comes out from President Trump, and he says, everyone vote for the release. We'll figure it out on the other side. And the other side being, still hasn't been fully released, right? So how do you compel the release of truth when you're dealing in this environment? Now that you know the power of the House Sergeant at Arms, what are some things that the House Sergeant at Arms can do? We haven't covered it yet, but it's inherent contempt, right? There's a law in the books. So if the DOJ won't police itself, there's a co-equal branch of government known as the legislative branch that can easily compel that. It hasn't been done in a while, but literally, a House Sergeant at Arms, Bill McFarland, could be ordered by Mike Johnson to say, hey, see a couple blocks down the road here? That's Pam Bondi's office. Go physically get her and put her right here. Todd Blanche, physically get him and place him right here. Jolene, grab her and place her right here. And every single thing that we want to get access to, which is the Epstein files. Yes. You think Jolene might have some evidence? Financial? All right. Point made, point made. Thank you, thank you. Who's up for that? Who is up for Mike Johnson to look Bill McFarland in the eye and say, hey, by the way, the guy's pretty obese, so I don't expect him to do it, but maybe some of his staff that are on the Sergeants at Arms staff can work with some of the U.S. Capitol Police officers to go ahead and or deputize some folks, right? To go ahead and get Pam, Todd, and Jolene, for starters. That's one option, and Thomas Massey's thinking about that with kind of compelling Mike Johnson to do that through potentially a procedural vote. Another option is what? Impeachment of Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche, right? Is that something? Is that an option you guys like? Because what? You guys want what? Truth. And we could care less if you got an R or a D by your name and you're in our government. We want truth and accountability. It starts with what Stuart said earlier when we were on the panel. You got to get it all out there first. And once it's all out there, let the internet do the internet thing. We'll see it. We're big men and women, and we're going to deal with it. Because guess what? None of us are in the list. So we could give a flying you-know-what. Let the chips fall where they may. What other options are available? Inherent contempt, we talked about. Talked about impeachment.
Peaceful protest.
Where else can we bring pain? Well, what if Mike Johnson says, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. How many people voted to release the Epstein files in Congress? Every one of them except Clay Higgins. So when America goes back and says, hey, how are you going to enforce this? Because it's already been, like, the deadline was December 19th, and the 15-day deadline for DOJ to send a report over with the list of names over to Congress is 15 days after that, which would have been last week, and they didn't meet the deadline. So they're actually going against Trump's signature of the law. They're going against the entire Senate, and they're going against the entire House. Wait a second. If you're not going to enforce that Epstein file release, name the incumbent, I am going to get you primaried. You have to be primaried. Every single person right now running in the primary against an incumbent, if you're a Democrat listening in, if you're a Republican listening in, you must campaign on that issue alone. It's a winning issue. Because they're not even willing to compel what they voted in as law. That when was the last time you had a basically unanimous vote in both chambers? I can't remember. So that's one way. And if Mike Johnson doesn't do it, there's something called, that I talked about earlier, that Matt Gaetz pulled on Kevin McCarthy. It's called a motion to vacate the chair, meaning the removal of Mike Johnson and replace him with a Speaker of the House that is willing to appoint a Sergeant at Arms to release everything J6 stuff, that is willing to go ahead and compel physically Pam Bondi, Blanche, etc., and impeach, and any other authority that they have.
Ivan for Speaker.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Relax. Relax. The only way that I would take Speaker of the House is as follows. Elon Musk, listen closely and take notes. Dana White, listen closely and take notes. You have to come to the conclusion, gentlemen, that you're ready, willing, and able to compile all the dirt you have on all members of the House and their staff, all members of the Senate and their staff, and then run it through your favorite AI tool like Grok, maybe, Elon, to see what criminal evidence you have based on violations of statutes. And then with that, compile it and ask yourself, who do I want to be the Speaker of the House to make sure that things get back on track? And I would recommend to Elon Musk that, remember you had a chair of the subcommittee Doge? Remember there was a Doge subcommittee in the House? Anyone? Who chaired that? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Interesting. You think Marjorie has a good relationship with Elon if she chaired that? Yes. How's her relationship? How's Donald Trump's relationship with Marjorie Taylor Greene? Not so good. Why? What's his relationship with Thomas Massey?
Not good.
I'd like to remind you, Dan Bongino, that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a pureblood.
Yeah!
I'd like to remind you, Dan Bongino, that Thomas Massey is also a pureblood that didn't cave to the vax.
Woo!
Any correlation? Any relationship there? So, if I were Elon Musk and he's sitting on a crime scene and he has dirt on, let's ask the question. Do you think Epstein Files has more blackmail on Congress members, or do you think Elon Musk has more? If you think Elon Musk has more, then there's a leverage game where he can literally choose the next Speaker of the House as early as tomorrow if he wants. If he just says, hey, member of Congress, name a member of Congress. Hey, Mike Johnson, here's what I got on your staff. And apply that to every member of Congress. Here's what I have a deal for you. This is what I have on you and your family and your staff. I want the Speaker of the House to do this and vote this way and doge the entire government. You can either say no, and I'll release this. You can say yes and fall in line. The moment you renege on it, I primary you, because guess what? I have more money as Elon Musk to deploy for your opponent, primary opponent, or general election opponent, than Miriam Adelson can deploy in support of you. Yes. Who knows Miriam Adelson? Who does not know who Miriam Adelson is? Well, Miriam Adelson, according to President Trump's own words 2 weeks ago at the Hanukkah celebration in the White House, he says, oh, Miriam, thank you for donating $250 million to my campaign, biggest donor. And a couple months before that, President Trump's own words, if you find it, you can post it up on the screen, where he says, oh, Miriam Adelson. Well, he was giving a speech in Israel, right? I asked her, are you more loyal to Israel or the United States? And Donald Trump said, she didn't answer me, so President Trump said, she must be more loyal to Israel. So I'm not saying what either way. I'm just quoting President Trump's own words. And if Miriam Adelson has donated $250 million to President Trump's reelection, and over the course of the last 15 years, Miriam with her husband, Sheldon, when he was alive, donated about $600 million to the Republican brand, would you consider her the George Soros of the right? I would. So who's providing Chris LaSavita, the guy that runs PACs that are going after Thomas Massey, Who funds that? Miriam Adelson? So, at the top, Miriam. She controls the White House through her friend Susie Wiles, the most powerful woman in the world, right? How does she control the Republican brand? Chris LaCivita? Allegedly, right? I mean, everything I say is allegedly. Speculation. Speculation. Allegedly. Jolene. Okay. So, if Mike Johnson doesn't do this over the next few days, it requires 8 members of Congress, because they raised it from 1. Quietly, they did this in the middle of the night when they started new Congress. New rules package, 8 members are required in order to, actually 9, because last time it was 8 that removed McCarthy. So 9. Do we have the 9? Do we have the numbers? Well, I don't know. All it requires to remove a Speaker of the House is going to be the majority, right? So let's think this through. Right now, the Republican, because there's a Republican that just passed away 2 days ago, Friday. It's a 3-member majority, Republican majority. So if 3 Republicans, I don't know, Thomas Massey, what are their names? Lauren Boebert, Nancy Mace. She's gone. MTG just retired January 5th. So she can't do that right now. So if 3 of them, he wouldn't do it. If 3 of them do the same thing that they did with the initial Epstein files release and say, you know what, we're going to enforce the Epstein files release, and if it takes removing Mike Johnson to do so, to place a Speaker of the House that will, they might do that. Now, why would they do that? Is that politically risky? Well, let's think this through. Is it risky for Massey to do that? I argue no, because he's already shown, everyone knows where he stands. This will just be another step of what he promised anyway that he was going to do. So we got 1. What are the other 2? Lauren Boebert is running for governor of Colorado last time I checked. Is Colorado, if it ran a legitimate, fair election, and if you believe it's a purple state, do you think that increases her political capital by doing so in a purple state? So that might be a calculus that she's willing to take. What about Nancy Mace? She's running for governor in South Carolina. If she does that, and eventually the Epstein files are released and Lindsey Graham's name's in there, is that a risk worth taking? So these are like the insider baseball things that we need to think about and then put it out there in the ether. Because when people think about it at this granular level and it starts to go at scale, this applies so much pressure to our political class. Because then when they go to an event like this, imagine I'm Lindsey Graham and I just equipped you with what I just explained to you. They're not going to be able to walk anywhere without massive scrutiny. Strongly worded letter. So to summarize, I'll close. How are we looking as a country right now? We have some problems.
We're hot, man. We're hot.
It's hot. And I didn't even mention Minnesota, right? I think we are in this constitutional, I don't even know what to call it. It's not a civil war, but it's an intra-government civil war within our own government, because you have some individuals that want to do the right thing and are not leveraged and blackmail, etc., and you have probably a majority that are, but the rest of the country is in line with that minority in the government. So the only way to, I think, solve this quickly at scale is to make sure, like, I think a quicker solution is to maybe start doing demonstrations with members of Congress that voted for the Epstein files release at the Department of Justice. Like, round and round she goes, right? And what I mean by that is, Maybe everybody needs to start playing the song, cue the song, and hang out at the Department of Justice as we educate the country through content now that we have independent voices on X, that we need to remove the scum deep state in each institution. Not by like, oh, the DOJ's bad. No, by the individuals. By the individuals with an ice pick, figuratively. Go with the song. So, Jolene and Loria, you are on blast. We're coming for you. Tad Tobias, we're coming for you. And we're going to do it legally, morally, ethically, to the max.
I need a high five too, right?
Give it up.
Woo! 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 7.
Give it up for Ivan Raiklin, the one, the only Ivan Raiklin. Oh my heavens. Woo!
Yes.
No. Thank you. Oh, what a perfect. I'll do that. Oh my gosh. And the show goes on. And we're going to bring up a panel. We're going to bring up our two friends here. Yeah. Well, we'll grab them right after. It's the two of you, just the two of you. You get to go. So Ivan Raiklin and Dr. Judy Mikovich.
You got it.
Dr. Judy, you're way prettier than him.
Give it up for Ivan Raiklin and Dr. Judy Mikovich.
So the fun is now I get to ask the question because I really came here to Long Island to see you guys, to see you and Trennis, and I had to fire host Trennis a little bit last night because, well, I filibuster him. I could see that without you here in the room that we weren't going to get to this fun first because you mentioned a lot of fun things like with COVID. So, well, no, they're actually quite a lot of fun.
Not so fun.
They're actually quite a lot of fun because the reason I answered 2006 and things like that is now there's a whole half of the Trump-Kennedy administration missing, right? So, Trump put Trump-Kennedy on the wall of the, Kennedy Center. And so we're missing the whys and the kind of leverage we have and how we can we don't have to shoot them out of those bunkers unless you consider the shot, my shot. And I think there's a musical about it, and I'm not giving up my shot. And I showed you the COVID shots the other day, and when we came in, when Trump got elected in 2016, one of the first things he did was appoint Bobby Kennedy to look at the vaccines, right? So he got in there, and he had a big team behind him with a whole lot of experience, about 45 years, that showed you what happened at Fort Detrick and showed you the environmental toxins and the weaponization and what was actually in those shots, all of the shots.
2016, right? 17?
No, 2006. 2006 and earlier, and that the plague of corruption and the pandemic, you're now all led to believe somehow this was all pharma. But it all lands on HHS because Ronald Reagan wasn't a fool. And this is why it matters with a book and the work of Barbara Loe Fisher and Michael R. Hugo. Do you know who they are? So
teach me.
Exactly. The Michael R. Hugo and Barbara Loe Fisher wrote a book in 1984 called A Shot in the Dark. And it was about the DTP shot. And it was about the lawsuits that generated what is now called the 1986 Act. So the lawsuits were piling up with the injuries when you left the cellular component of the pertussis vaccine, how it manufactured, meaning the mRNA, DNA, and protein from whatever the animals were that they made that pertussis part of the shot from. And it goes to everything that's happening right now. So Michael R. Hugo is an attorney. Ooh, and he was born, and he's from Boston. And he's my second favorite. He's my second favorite attorney. And I probably shouldn't say it out loud, but he has a very deep 60-year friendship. His wife's best friend is Pocahontas. So we start to see how we get
24th Indian.
How we get, and so what is the movie 1986theact.com. Watch 1986 The Act from the website.com, and you will see how Maryland, you will see how who's Donna Shalala? Anybody remember? See, I'm old. And I'm the elephant in the room because I'm not
Miami.
moving, and I won't forget.
God.
Oh, and who was Janet Reno, an attorney general? And what
She used to be in Pam Bundy's position.
And what did they die of? A little shot. How does your CIA get rid of anybody they want? With the shot du jour. Remember, everything since 2009 was a COVID shot. And there were a couple of small companies and two investigators, one from the National Cancer Institute and one from the National Institute of Aging, who worked with me in 1983, 82 it was started, the Biological Response Modifiers Program of your National Cancer Institute that cured AIDS in 1991. So what I like to say is the only bat cave in Reston, Virginia is the CIA. So how did you get those bat viruses in Reston,
The bat
Virginia?
soup?
Well, I guarantee it didn't go to Wuhan any other way than when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight, because Federal Express is how you ship criminal things, because you can't do it through the USPS.
So what you're telling me is since Anthony Fauci has been in his position at NIAID for 40 years, how many times did he visit the Central Intelligence Agency?
I don't know, but he didn't visit Fort Detrick or talk to me any other than 3 times, and every time I told him with the nice alliteration you used to use, how felonious Fauci could go fuck himself.
Fraudchi. I know at least on one occasion he was there.
But it wasn't Fauci, it was Bob Gallo in your National Cancer Institute. What is the movie by Randy Schultz, and I'm going to say Celia Farber? Think we might have a book there? Think we might have some data there? Why do you think I hold a picture? It's not in my hand right now. It's in Godspeak Church behind a lot of sheepdogs. And I mean a lot of sheepdogs, meaning they're armed and dangerous, and they protect us. Packers, we call them, Godspeak Packers. That was yesterday's hat. So there's a picture, and I know they can show slide, I think it's 16 from I built more slides into yesterday, just to show you this, because I clearly wasn't communicating very well yesterday. But there's a picture It is slide 16 of what says Stay Awake. And it's the original cover of the book Plague, which published November 16, 2014. And the hardback picture, and who is, there you go, it's on the screen. So right behind us is a picture of, and I'm sure they can split the screen for us, of the Integrative Neuroimmune Program Intramural Research Award. What does that mean? Intramural is one of the 2 different departments at the NIH. So they put out a call for proposals like they did in 1982 because they saw what was going on at universities and people getting sick with weird stuff. And so they put UCLA. Anyway, so they put together this program and they put out a call for proposals. Well, Frank showed this to me in 2005, and he knew I'd stepped into a little bit of shit in 2005 when I co-founded the first Neuroimmune Disease Institute in Reno, Nevada. Oh, Harry Reid and Harvey Whittemore? Harry Reid was never legally elected. Never. How was he the Senate Majority Leader? Oh, and when did PACS come into law? Here, role, Integrative Neuroimmune Research Program. It's called the INIP. The role of chronic inflammatory and immune stimulation by active, herpes virus infection. Okay, wait for it. In development of immune dysfunction, mantle cell lymphoma, and chronic fatigue syndrome. I played you yesterday Deborah Burke's fraud, a little long COVID. There's another one we could take out in a heartbeat. So you see, Stuart, you were half right. The world, the troll here, needs a Mrs. Troll to hang out under the bridge. And the only person worse than seeing him coming, if your name is Killary, is me. And I just came to ask you to hang out in Washington with me.
Did you see what I did to Debbie Burks last year?
No,
when
but
she was
I put her up to
testifying?
that. No, but that's why I want to be in the room.
Did anybody see that? So you got pretty good views on it. So as she came to testify before the COVID Select Committee that was constituted in the last Congress, she came to testify. I was in the second row back, right in the middle where I normally sat during a couple years of Congress. And as she approached, in a very submissive voice, I say, "Oh, Dr. Walensky, Ivan Raiklin, I really look forward to your testimony and involvement in murdering over 38,000 Americans due to the jab, ma'am." As I sat down quietly and crossed my legs. That got like 20 million views. Because let's face it, our government is not holding these people to account.
Well,
the least we can do is just to
government
shine maximum light on them.
Exactly. So who are the principal investigators? Francis Rossetti National Cancer Institute, my mentor of 45 years. That guy is a hero. He put everything on the line to save every bit of data. You know, we weren't taking any chances over the Tina Peters kind of situation. We've been there and done that for 15 years. And Dennis Taub, and National Institute of Aging, principal investigator. Okay, so you're calling this a normal aging process. Why don't we show you how they renamed? Look at the next slide. So in that grant, here's who Dennis Taub is. He published this paper in Nature. That's COVID. That's COVID, and it's multiple sclerosis. So an ancient viral protein, it ain't ancient, and it wasn't, God didn't make oncogenes. God made protection pathways and you exploited them with that protein called syncytin. Synthesize cells together. The fusogenic protein that I showed you yesterday, that the head of Pfizer Research knew would sterilize kids. And Bobby and I, we showed you the picture of Bobby and I defending it. And at Godspeak Church in February 2020, there's syncytin. There's how you activate the stem cell. This is my PhD thesis. I work with both of these guys since 1983.
Wait, what company did you say?
This is multiple sclerosis, National Cancer Institute. I was the head of the lab of antiviral drug mechanisms. Who's the longest running doge anywhere? John Coffin. Tufts. Why was he leading the AIDS drug resistance program? AIDS drug resistance program? I only played that 3-minute video that showed you Deborah Burke's line yesterday. Oh, and we've learned so much from our cancer research from long COVID. Wait a minute. This isn't cancer. This is 2004, and we cured multiple sclerosis. John Coffin was the primary reviewer of our 2009 science paper, which we submitted May 6, 2009. But who did we give it to first? In a company called Genius. Oh, DARPA. And who was over that? John Coffin. Oh, so they stole the patents. John Coffin removed the data, the immunology data of every variant that was in that paper. And then let me show you what they did with it after they forced the publication in a specialty journal in 2011. Who was the second reviewer of that paper? Jonathan Fatboy Stoye. Just look him up, S-T-O-Y-E. He can't do a push-up either. They pulled the cytokine signature of your God-given protection, how you would never get AIDS if you were Magic Johnson, my PhD thesis, 1991. It's epigenetic. God didn't make oncogenes or mistakes. Show the next slide now. Oh, here we are. After they played their COVID fraud, here's a new disease. Just watch your TV tonight. Chronic inflammatory demyelinated polyneuropathy. CIDP.org. 15 criminal commercials on TV every night with their new little drugs in their mix and match place. What is that? The same exact effing picture from 2004 in 2020. So they thought they got everything, and you might have to go all the way back to Hillary on November 8th, 2011, when the next day with Epigenics, that scientist at sea, Trennis, I had an interview with Patrick Song-Chong. Who is he? And I want my data back, because this belongs to the National Cancer Institute, and Tony Fauci and the NIAID never owned a single patent. Why did I say the Bayh-Dole Act? And who is Bob Dole? You know. Who got me a full scholarship to University of Virginia? Elizabeth Dole. She lived next door to my high school English teacher. And I'm Goodwill Hunting. I just kept beating up the teachers, so they just said, you're going to jail again unless you sit down and talk to Mickey Willis. So you think I'm smart enough to see what Mickey knows? This, B and T cell, multifocal inflammation. That's the exact same picture. They created the superantigen, and they knew exactly what they were doing because they did it in the INIP, and they thought they could kill us, steal all the data, bury it somewhere. What I didn't tell Trennis yesterday, he could come back. But let's look at the next slide, because the fraud continues, and this is how we're getting lost in the noise. So yesterday I came here to talk about this. And CAIR, the California Immunization Registry, connected and protected is not a thing. This is the same Muslim terrorist organization in Chicago. Look at the colors. What did Kamala do? What did Newscomb do? What is CARE? Oh, it's a database. The card is required by law, an immunization record. Well, wait a minute. They mix and match immunization and vaccination, just as I showed you in that little tape. The infection is not the disease, so why have we injected the infections for 45 years unchecked when Ronald Reagan tried to stop that? Because when they told him, Fauci and Pharma, went to Ronald Reagan and said, they're unavoidably unsafe because of a shot in the dark, Barbara Loe Fisher. Not a shot in the dark, Candace Owens. She had nothing to do with it. She took away and made something into something it wasn't, to spread a narrative that's not true. So here is your immunization. What I wanted to do was go to Congress and go to what we tried to do in 2007 was file the annual report. Aaron Series books at Vaccine Amen. We tried to file that report in 18. And the we is Mark Inc., a company called Mikovits and Rossetti Consulting. Frank was dad, 2 people. We testified in vaccine court. I'm an adjunct professor at George Washington University. They have a vaccine injury law clinic. Did anybody know that? Oh, they knew exactly who they were targeting with each successive booster. So I've got some oral and nasal solutions here. So this is required by law in all 50 states and that card. And when you travel on a visa, oh, there's an international prophylaxis and vaccination that's already changed. So we get that OMB number, and notice none of these, MMR, hepatitis B, but they're not vaccines. Aaron Siri, Del Bigtree, the Highwire, Bobby Kennedy. Not one of them was tested more than 5 days. They're not vaccines. They don't defy immunity. So what we did, we killed Timothy Cunningham. He was floating in the Chattahoochee River or whoever. Yeah, he was floating in the river. So William Thompson, Bobby, I told him in 2019, I said, oh, by the way, when you write a letter to your family, don't quote the criminal William Thompson that's still sitting in that job. You know, here's some people we need to pull up there, but what we need to do, and what I came to ask you to do, they need their annual boosters, don't they, folks? We'll take the needles and we'll take the pills. And then light up
annual?
Annual booster.
Why so?
They're shooting our kids in preschool.
Why annually? Why not give them one every second?
Well, how many boosters did they approve? Let's just give them the annual. All I have to do is line up the needles, and I guarantee you everybody's going to take my way, because this is true immunity. And these are, I've even got the V-shield right there for COVID. This is proof of immunity. And they did something different when Bobby said, oh, yeah, and McCary with the FDA, oh, you could drink alcohol again. Why don't we try the next slide and see if it's, this is propaganda. Our medical literature is propaganda. It's not literature. Here's Rob Verkerk, who just lost that FDA lawsuit. So here's what they did. They took all the natural products, beta-glucan and green tea extract after they already GMO'd, I showed you yesterday, everything that would lower blood glucose, and they said, sure, of the thousands of years and hundreds and thousands of companies that have made all these fabulous products that are validated to actually work, efficacy and safety for more than 7 years, and all of these things now, they said, sure. The FDA person that had been there 20 years, I'll watch the show and find out her name. Oh, she signed this piece of paper and said, I don't care what the FDA and Bobby Kennedy said. We're taking all the science of this away so you don't get transparency. You don't get to know, they slaughtered my brother's company, Mikovits Services. So my sister-in-law's smart. She's like, I'll DBA it. DBA, real food knowledge, RFK. And so when the sun's shining and you get real food in your root system, glyphosate isn't an herbicide, it's a soil killer. So they know you can't grow any kind of food, and now they're going to take away everything and put it in pills. So I'm watching and prevent you from drinking. There's your COVID shots. And you see, I got the little Trump glass down there. That's my kitchen. Come to Sunday Fundy at my house, and we pour some Maha Margaritas. They are healthy as can be. Just don't take the same shot on the next day. But here I'm watching the news this morning, Fox News, and they talk about
news.
this.
It's pronounced faux news.
Faux news. Okay, faux news. Faux and friends. You know, and they sit up there and they put this 30-something on there, and she's talking about Bobby and the red wine and the fermentation. You know, and she said alcohol, and I'm watching it. She said ethanol. She said that's called acetaldehyde. And I'm thinking, what? I mean, WTF? I'm thinking, all right. And so I know that's not true. It's not acetaldehyde. And so here it is. I just Wikipedia it because I can't get Grok. I'm censored from it. You know why the Doge won't let me near that. So the name is actually ethanol. Oh, so do you think there are any spelling errors? You know, remember what Michelle Peterson yesterday said about coffee when Trump tweeted, it was said cobalt, F-E-F-E. He didn't misspell coffee, it's iron. Iron metabolism, we're all rusting out. Oh, so now that's not an organic, it's an organic chemical, but it's deadly. It's organic because it has a carbon in it. Your FDA's definition of organic is different than the one in the food you make. And we're not doing anything about this. And all we have to do is force them to get here, you decide. We'll give you full informed consent. You can sit through every second of my lectures like they have at Godspeak Church for 2 years at Thousand Oaks. And we immunized, not one person got sick. They went to Israel and defended it. You know they wanted that church to get sick. No, at Godspeak we believe in immunization and obeying the federal law. And all I want to do is go there by February 13th, the anniversary of Bobby's confirmation, little Valentine's Day present, and hand them the 2026, the 2020, and the 2018 obedience to the 1986 Act. It's due every 2 years. They got 1 year left while they playing all this noise game over here. Let's just very quietly have a little come to Jesus, and we'll stamp them all. Here, you decide. You can have what's in the needle, or you can have, and then everybody gets immunized, including your children who need it, because this will target homeopathy. You make these synthetic things. You keep this language where they lie to you about what chemical and organic is, and you think one thing, and they're spraying a peel. Let's go to the next slide. I'll show you worse. It gets worse. Oh, well, there's all your oral immunizations for HIV. What did Trump give us? Oh, hepatitis B. Oh, hepatitis B at birth. At birth. The movie is, forgot the movie, Protocol 7. Watch Protocol 7. That's Andy Wakefield's story and my story, and it shows you how they did it. Oh, because you can win all the lawsuits you want. And you know how many kids they killed? Because they injected HIV in everybody since 1991. Unchecked. That's how Magic Johnson got HIV. He never got AIDS, did he? They're not the same thing. Here's all your pills that
He's still playing basketball, isn't he?
He owns the Dodgers. He's winning a couple of World Series. I'm like, hey, Magic, I want some tickets next year. He's alive because of me. There's homeopathy. There's nitazoxanide, which I'm sorry he is. It's called Alinea. There's Celebrex for your lungs, COX-2. COX-2 is cyclooxygenase. There's a disease engine of how those triple helix DNAs, you want to turn them back. Oh, all of these things are dirt cheap. And look who makes them. They're dirt cheap. And here's some new AIDS drugs up there. Don't go. You're not going to get away. I'm going to ask you some questions. And here's your only true immunization. And we knew it all the way back to 1980. Here's your cover of Time magazine. Who's Jason Chaffetz? Don't go. Come back up here and tell me who Jason Chaffetz is, and tell him what he did.
He used to be a congressman. Now he's similar to Pam Bondi.
What was
he goes
his
on
job?
Fox News all the time.
What was his job? House oversight.
He was on the oversight committee.
Oh, so who sat with him on it March 31st, 2017? Oh, not only me, Bobby Kennedy, Del Bigtree. We went, the late, great Tony Bark, the late, great Jim Behan, the late, great Zev Selenko. We went 2 by 2, state by state. And you know what those offices, Senate and Congress did? Threw us out. Threw us out of their offices. That's censorship. So next, we've got this is chlorine dioxide. It's formalized and made. We can give them oral. There's General Flynn. Toxic legacy of glyphosate. Toxic legacy of glyphosate and the plague of corruption in the real end. Yeah, we're reading some books. Next slide. So I was playing on the grok today and last night because I'm still on Pacific time. One more. And I think there's only one more in here. Never mind. Yeah, there's a couple more in there. Now, the next one is a little quiz for you. And I put it in 6 tables because I'm going to show you another lie. And that's Tylenol. Can we move one ahead? You got it. Okay, here's grok. So you guys can do this too, and this is how you catch them. Okay, I asked them, what's Tylenol's mechanism of action? So they said, okay, acetaminophen works as a pain reliever and a fever reducer by inhibiting cyclooxygenase. Well, isn't that what Celebrex did, and you took it away and you murdered Brandy Vaughn Vioxx? Oh, anybody remember the class of COX-2 inhibitors where the idiots didn't know the half-life, but we did? And we know how it works. We were sitting there the whole time. We never stopped working from when they shut us down. We just kept going and kept defending the Constitution and our job to make sure the taxpayers who paid for every bit of this data. That's why Mickey Willis's films are free. You own the intellectual property and nobody else. And the National Cancer Institute. It's not known to directly interfere with purine metabolism. What's purine and pyrimidines? Ivermectin. They're purinergic modulators, and the Wnt pathway is colon cancer, and just what I show you. So I just asked grok, does anybody remember what Reye's syndrome is? Anybody? Reye's syndrome. What was it? Oh, your kids, when they were teenagers, suddenly got POTS and started feigning for wherever. I think it was Donna back there behind the counter. Oh, so it's often called Rye syndrome. No, it's Reye's. It was the name of a person. And rare but serious condition affecting children and teens. Oh, it's vaccine injury affecting the liver and the brain. Oh, it was that cytokine signature that was attacking the brain, and they knew it. In 2004. They knew it, causing seizures, death if untreated. Now, yeah, Tylenol. And for aspirin avoidance. We made up the whole thing in order to say that Tylenol fit under the 2004 Botanical Drug Guidance Act. All we're trying to do is obey the law, and we're the only ones who know it. Like you in that sense, we in this. So recent claims, here's what grok's doing to you, Doge. Yeah, Doge. September 22nd, White House event tying Tylenol to autism. Yeah, of course we are, because we just showed you it's that COX-2 inhibitor. We just told you that, and we knew that in 1991. Oh, and now it's called MCAD deficiency. Don't talk in acronyms. That's mast cell. No, there's no sort of mast cell activation disorder. Your mast cells protect your blood-brain barrier. Polyethylene glycol. Anyway, these are all. So the last slide is just to show you the lies and what they're showing you on TV. They just move forward and forward and forward as we listen to the noise, and we don't do anything when we have the power. We made up hundreds of those kits, and we gave them to everybody going on any kind of international travel requiring any kind of visa.
Awesome.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to do some Q&A.
Yeah, ask me a question.
Yeah,
What do we
how
do?
can we solve?
We
What can
file
we
the reports. We have the
Ivan.
reports. Everybody here can file this report, and everybody plays a role who was at this meeting today. And Ivan can help. We file because we are here being censored from obeying the federal law.
Doctor.
My
Stuart.
question is what is Robert Kennedy Jr. going to do about this?
Robert Kennedy Jr. has no authority to do anything about this, but he's controlling HHS. He's not a doctor. The people that committed the crimes in that picture are the people that will answer to Robert F. Kennedy. It's the same thing. He's the Secretary of Health and Human Services doing his job. We're going to file those reports.
Yeah,
Now, all
baby.
3 of them that were
Ivan.
denied.
Ivan, what do you think we can do about this in your, in your trained mind and thought and meticulous strategy.
So who wants to go after the COVID criminals? Give me some names.
Fauci,
Anthony Fauci, right?
Fauci, Burke,
Debbie Burks?
yeah.
All right,
How about Bill
do I
Gates?
have a deal
the Gates
for
of
you?
Health. The
Listen
Gates of Health
closely
Foundation.
and take notes. Who knows who the Anthony Fauci of the Department of Defense, now Department of War, was? Am I going to stump you again with names? Who has ever heard of the name of Dr. Terry Adirem? America, listen closely. Here we go through the lesson. I'm going to try to do it in like 2-3 minutes. Terry, T-E-R-R-Y, or maybe I, and last name is Adirem, A-D-I-R-I-M. She was the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Health Affairs at the Department of Defense under the obese, AWOL, acting fake Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. Remember him? Obese one? The DEI obese hire? So, she was his Assistant Secretary of Defense for Health Affairs. So when, on August 22nd of 2021, when the FDA approved Pfizer Comirnaty labeling for the COVID jab, they never produced it. They just created a label approval. Okay? Then we will go over to the Department of Defense. The next day, oddly enough, Lloyd Austin writes up a mandate on the jab. But in that mandate, it said that the emergency use authorized product can be used interchangeably with the approved one. 3 weeks later, September, don't quote me on the date, 14, 17, somewhere in time frame of 2021, Terry Adirem signs off a memo. Where's my, hey Greg, can you get my MERS in the back, wherever you're at? I'll read it to you. Or Joseph, can you grab it back here? So in that memo, she signs off and says, you have to take the jab. Meaning, the FDA approval is not available, which means you have to take the emergency use authorized product. You can't do that because you can't mandate an emergency use authorized product. Bear with me. So what does she do? Well, that's called an unlawful order in my book and in everyone's book, as far as I could tell. Let's see if I can find this. I might not be able to. So what I'm getting at here is, if you want to look through here, it's highlighted. It's like a memo. So in that, it was the unlawful order that the seditious six were actually referring to. Remember the seditious six? Mark Kelly, don't follow unlawful orders in the DOD. Well, guess what, Mark? Former captain. I have one for you. Voila! Now, this is my subpoenas against me from Jackass Smith. This is another one. Don't worry about it. So, what I'm getting at here is, in order to get after the COVID cabal, remember I talked about in the legislative branch, you have Thomas Tobias, who holds the keys to the kingdom. If you want to go after the DOJ, you go after Jolene Ann Loria, right? When it comes to the COVID cabal, the one person that will open the keys to the castle at the DOD and the CIA, guess who? Terry Adirem. How? She wrote the unlawful order on behalf of the apparatus to compel the consumption of the emergency use authorized product unlawfully, and then after the 2024 election was moved over to be the senior health official at the CIA to hide. Do you think that she probably knows people in the CIA at the highest level to secure that position that are still in deep state, probably affiliated with the John Brennans of the world? That would be my guess. So wouldn't it be nice to have a little bit of discovery on her through legal process?
And how about you might find it in the 700 and some page criminal affidavits we filed April 6th of 2019 against the FBI and the entire
But
Ninth
this was
Circuit.
before, that was before. I'm talking about post-2021 when she signed this on September 14th of 2021. It says mandatory vaccination of service members using Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccines. DoD healthcare providers will use both the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine and Comirnaty interchangeably for the purpose of vaccinating service members in accordance with the SecDef's memo. And guess what happened in May of this year? The Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness said that this was an unlawful order. And guess what happens next? The day after that was announced, or 2 days, maybe that introduction was appropriate in this circumstance, because my golly, I set the perfect trap. I was telling the public that she was the architect. Tell me if this is incorrect. Knowing this, could you say that she was the architect of the DNA mutilation distribution platform for the Department of Defense? What's a defense to defamation, folks? Truth. So, if she doesn't like the way I describe her, she files a lawsuit against me for defamation. And, oh, hold on. Here's what her schema was in May of this year, or last year. Ivan Raiklin's defamatory statements about me were conveyed to Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer went to the White House to meet with Donald Trump and told him to fire National Security Council members and to tell John Radcliffe to fire Dr. Adiram. I never communicated with Laura Loomer. She never told Donald Trump about this woman's name. She didn't even know who she was, meaning Donald Trump didn't even know to tell John Radcliffe to fire this woman. And guess what happens? I have the crowned achievement of my lifetime, being a co-defendant with the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, with the CIA Director, John Radcliffe, with the DNI, the CIA, with the Weaponization Working Group of the Department of Justice. And the only private citizen as a defendant on there is Ivan Raiklin. I think I just initiated an entire scheme. If we get to trial, by the way, I already gotten the judge to dismiss without prejudice, and so we're going through the process of dismissing with prejudice. But eventually, as this plays out, I think that will be one of the vectors that we can actually go after and penetrate the entire COVID cabal, circumventing those Republicans and Democrats complicit in the entire operation. So, if you want to support my work, come talk to me later. But it's I actually created a Give, Send, Go for this lawsuit, and we're almost done with it. It's givesendgo.com/Terry Adiram.
I'll give you all the data. We had a 10-hour tape conversation with the FBI in David Folan's office on the 16th of March in 2016. The FBI couldn't understand a word Frank Rossetti or I said, and they taped every word of it, and we have it all in transcript, and we have criminal affidavits that my paralegal, Travis Middleton,
Well,
got.
Dan Bongino's on it.
There you go.
He's the FBI glamour boy.
Against the entire Ninth Circuit Court. We've got every one of the judges. We literally, Harry Reid and Harvey Whittemore. We have a letter from Harry Reid. This was all about election fraud, but it was Obama. And again, it was when PACs were illegal, and they need to go back to that. It was when you couldn't pay to have somebody elected and collect a bunch of money. Harvey Whittemore was convicted of it. And I was the one they subpoenaed twice because I had all the evidence. So both the defense and And so that's why I was held under the criminal charges, which they dropped without prejudice. So at any time, the Attorney General could come back and file those intellectual property theft, grand theft, felony charges, and I'd be back to 4 years in jail and the criminal trial that I just sat through the 4 years because they dropped the case. My lawyer and the corrupt Judge Adams, just go look up Judge Adams in Reno. You know, he admitted it. Literally, they said they wanted my emails. I'll give them to you. I'll give every one of these. I mean, the email, the treasure trove we have, it catches every one of them all the way back to before 2006. It can go back to AIDS. We can heal everybody, but everybody needs to get immunization.
I guess to summarize this discussion here about what we just talked about, I think now that we've gotten the First Amendment back, thanks to Elon and a lot of these different platforms, the court of public opinion is now awake enough to where you can actually, I think now we can be successful in litigating in civil litigation, even with judges that are not appointed by a Republican, if you will, because it's out there. And so I think we are now in a position where there should be massive amounts of lawfare or civil litigation to expose this stuff. And even if it's just exposure through discovery, for example, in this case, to talk about Terry Adirham, we're going to be able to go into all of her communications as it relates to this subject in the Department of Defense, and when she went over the CIA and all the people that she communicated with. I mean, you can expose the whole apparatus. So I don't know why she's suing me, but please continue.
And Michael R. Hugo is willing to work with us. The minute Bobby got confirmed, he said, I can make that compensation program hum in no time, which means to bankrupt it. Because it would have always worked if it hadn't watched 1986. Watch what Donna Shalala did. Watch what Marilyn did. You can see the lies in all of Congress and Senate, and all you have to do is show them these thousands of pages. We can roll up to the back door in bankers' boxes and go all the way back to 1990s, and then it begins to show that what Trump Kennedy tried to do are exactly right. We have all of it.
Any other questions? Please.
1 second, because so everybody can hear you and online. Thank you.
I want to just thank you for your sacrifice, for all your hard work. But I got to ask you something. I got a son who took the vax, and he has cancer of the spine right now. So I need to know what to do. What can we do?
All of the things that we already did, and we'll give it back to you.
We
have the curative strategies.
Okay,
and
hold on.
patented. I showed you yesterday.
Okay, hold on. I wasn't here yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm here
Sorry.
tonight.
Okay.
And I really, when you said Celebrex, I used to say Celebrex was awful, so they took it off. You're saying
a lie.
Celebrex is all right.
It was all a lie.
right.
Yes,
So
I can I can get him everything he needs. Give me your address. I'll mail him to him. and tell
Thank
how to
you,
take it.
Jesus. That's
This
why
is
I
all
came
we've
tonight.
we've got the
because
cures.
we need the answer.
Your government officials didn't leave you standing there. We sacrificed and in most cases
And I thank
lost
you.
everything.
But we need education. We need people to understand what to do now. Because
Your scientific journals are propaganda. Your
I
medical
know.
journals
We
are
know.
propaganda. Reverse that thing of Obama that allowed them to put propaganda on the TV.
all right, so we need some real education here. We need to know what to do because our kids are sick.
Yeah.
Our parents are sick.
Yeah.
Thank God for you. Because of you, I didn't get the jab. Because of you, I sat on top of my husband, and he didn't get the jab either. But I got to tell you something. Years ago, I took a flu vaccine. And I didn't mean to, but I was there, and they said, take it, so I did. Is that...
A COVID shot, yes.
I knew it.
Always was.
I knew it. So now
always
listen.
was. Since 2006, they were all COVID shots.
All right, so we can reverse this?
They're criminally liable. Yes. And we want to heal our nation. We want to give everybody the choice to come back to Jesus.
Amen. That's what we
the
wanna
way
do.
God intended our natural
Thank
products
you.
and our food to be food.
Thank you.
And take the authority out of the FDA. They have none. But we have all that. I really just came to, we're going to file that report by February 13th. We're going to file it by Valentine's Day, and then we're going to go have a big party.
Send chocolates and flowers along with it.
We're going to, we've got hundreds of bankers' boxes, but I just have to put a cover page to it.
We got a question right here. Yes.
Yep,
hi.
go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Mikavis. I also want to thank you. You've been an inspiration. I'm a nurse, educator, and I've been following you since AIDS, and you just, inspiration is being like a lower statement of what you really have done for me. Thank you so much. But I wanted to ask, as an educator of the new nurses coming into the field, in a world where I can't say almost anything without looking like I'm crazy, how do I approach these people and make them understand? I mean, they're all lining up for their shots everywhere up and down the hallways, and there's nothing that I can do or say. I'm silenced constantly, even though I still speak. I don't shut up. What is the best way to reach them? I don't know what to say.
Show them the proof. Show them what I just showed you. Show them what's in every shot. Show them the blindness, the tinnitus. Show the most important thing. The best book I've seen lately is Vaccines, Amen. Aaron Siri. It's a cult. It has nothing to do with science, and that is the cult, the Satanists that took over our government. There's still God people in our government, and they're sacrificing them. So for Tina Peters, there's a reason why they want the grandmothers like me and Tina, so they can keep shooting our kids. That's what's so important about Protocol 7. That's MMR. They won that lawsuit years ago. How many kids are injured? How many kids since the Vax movie since 2014? How about 99 when William Thompson? How about when he confessed to Children's Health Defense? You know, how about all of that? These criminals that are still in those jobs like you're talking about today. And we've left the entire half off of that, and that's how COVID fit into it. And that was what Michelle Peterson said yesterday. The critical to absolutely all of it, the very front line, is the grooming. You're grooming your nursing students. You're grooming to believe in a cult the same way. So we do have to re-educate.
Who asked that question?
This is this right in front. Yeah, the question, Chris. Yeah.
So, can you do a video camera up close as I do the search on the most compelling piece of evidence to be able to address what your question is? Okay. Is there a way to do that?
Close to you?
Yeah, close on my phone? No? Okay. I'm going to talk you through it then.
Okay.
If you go to the Wonder VAERS database on the CDC's website, Centers for Disease Control, Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System, and you run a query through that, and I can show you how that looks. You run through a query on vaccine injuries, and you can choose deaths or just injuries, and you can do it by geographical area. Let's just say do all of them, right? All vaccine injuries. And then you run a query on all vaccines. It's a database that's been around for 32 years, okay? It lists all vaccines on the vaccine schedule that exist, that are FDA approved, and then the emergency use authorized ones. And it'll show you the injuries and deaths associated that were reported through that database, okay? You will see that over 50% of deaths attributed to any and all vaccines over the last 3 decades plus are attributed to COVID vaccines. Over 50%. And that was 2 years into it in a 30-year database. So if that doesn't convince whoever you're trying to convince, you have to tell them, provide me evidence that is more compelling than the government's own database, that in addition to that, you go back to a Harvard study that says that database only 1% of actual events are reported into that database. So this could potentially mean not 38,000, but 3.8 million. Deaths attributed to a product that you were told that was safe and effective, and if it's upwards in that 3.8 million range, I mean, this is a slaughter to a level Civil War, World War I, World War II, and every single war in America combined.
Yep.
So if you don't want to agree with that, please get your booster.
And Ed Dowd's
You might be
book,
lucky.
Ed Dowd's book, yeah.
They
The
lied, people
insurance
died.
actuaries.
They lied, people died.
Sure.
Ed Dow's book.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
cause unknown or some of
cause
these
un-
things.
yeah. Yeah. And, we have to get to a point where I understand your heart because these people that you work with, you care about. But you know what? We get to a point where we just have to pray for them. I'm sorry. I know. I've got family. I know. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll pray for you. We will. We'll pray for you. We got another question here.
You know what? This isn't a question, but I want to share with you
Such a great
some quick
jacket.
thoughts and maybe also some enlightenment of you probably know, but being an insider, look, I feel you. Respiratory therapist, 50 years. Okay, let's go back for COVID. I retired in 18. Then it was like 56 years or whatever. Respiratory therapist came back, never expecting to see what I did and the depth of what I did. But during that time, I was seeing videos from you and from Dr. Batar. Saved my life. I didn't think I was going to cry, but I'm good. And, I forged through. I'm strong. I'm a 70s girl, I'm a redhead. I know how to get through this and all, and I did. And I'm okay, and I've been good, but to see my coworker, hurt like this. So anyway, we forged through. You wouldn't believe what we saw behind the walls and everything, but we forged through. We were starting to get better. We were starting to heal, and as soon as we started to heal and get better, we started to talk to each other. But I was awake from day one, which I look at everybody else, and they're like, no, it's because we all stand too close. And I'm like, oh my God, don't you get it? Anyway, so we all started to wake up. And then a lot of my coworkers were waking. I'm like, oh my God, they're waking up. They're taking the masks off and stuff like that. And the point is, at that point, when we woke up, now they announced we have to get mandatory shots. Now we start fighting with each other within the hospital. We were all coming together. And now they divided us immediately.
So I'm going to offer you the oral, and they can make their choice. I'll give you full informed consent of both sides of it, and you won't fight each other anymore. You can take the needle, or you could, but you need an oral immunization. You can't write, you're being mandated. More kids are going to die. We've made it, we've validated it, we've done it for hundreds of years.
Point altogether, Judy.
Okay.
Really is, for one, really to say thank you. Both
Okay.
you and Dr. Batar.
But I want you to be healthy, and Dr. Buttar didn't do
I am.
everything to have you get killed when we knew this then.
Yeah.
He was fighting us. So was, everything we heard this weekend, everybody was standing Stewart, we all went Tina Peters.
Yeah.
You could have, that judge could have said the exact same thing that corrupt Judge Adams said about me, except I wasn't even allowed a trial. I wasn't even allowed anything. I was allowed nothing,
So
no
the
voice
question-
ever again, and
Yeah,
I
the
still don't
question
have
I
it.
What-
Or
I'm
a
sorry,
penny,
the
not a
question that
job.
I had was, after I just shared with you a little insight of what happened, and I appreciate all you did and all the truth tellers at the time, where do you think they're going to get we're going to get justice for what happened? That was the bottom line.
That's what we're working for. We force them into it.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
make
yeah.
them make a
No,
choice, and we get them.
I'm just asking you if you think so. That's all. We'll get to justice, right?
It's going to be more complicated than what most people think. I'm going to personally do everything in my power to make sure it happens. But here's the issue, and this is where it gets uncomfortable.
This is why I asked the question. Thank you.
I want to kind of address this. Who ran the COVID task force in the White House? Who ran the COVID task force in the White House? Mike Pence, right? And who was the shadow governor? Jared Kushner. What relationship does Jared Kushner have with Albert Bourla, Miriam Adelson, Benjamin Netanyahu? That's for you to research. And so we have to work through that for justice.
God wins in the end.
And
but
we keep
we're going to
working.
do everything we can. Yep.
We keep working. There's no retirement. We're not going to stop doing
work
what
the
we're
problem.
doing.
We've got 2 more questions. We're going to buzz through them because we've got some sponsors. We've got the auction.
One more thing.
And then, we're going to have a rapid fire at the end.
Yep.
Perfect?
Yeah, they can all come.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that your beloved current Attorney General, Pam Bondi, who was her client, but who was one of her clients before she became the AG? Pfizer. I mean, we're going to get justice, but we have to work through who's currently in office.
Yep.
First of all, I want to thank both of you and all of Stewart, all of you, because you don't have to do this. And my first question, simple, is you mentioned chlorine dioxide. Is that something you would recommend? I've been taking it for years, all during COVID, flus, Lymes. I feel like it works well, but I heard you mention it, and it's not often heard.
Well, it's up as one of those. We had to create Light Dove Ministries and the medical education group that can educate. It's as MED where we teach it. But if you don't have an immune system, and you don't have nutrients, and you don't have food, and you don't have water, and you don't have air, chlorine dioxide will kill you. You can't do these. Yeah, it turns into asbestos. That's the whole point of putting together the nutrients the way God put them in the soil and in the plants. That's why they're trying to take it away and GMO everything. I'm sorry, because a lot of I see that you're new faces and you didn't hear the hour-long talk yesterday.
No.
But we were trying to get to the point where we're showing you how simple it is, number one, to heal, but you've got to put a foundation on it.
Okay.
And the FDA turns around and the faux news and the faux news every single day. No matter what Trump, Kennedy do, they lie on TV and nobody's smart enough to catch them.
Brought to you by
Ethanol isn't ethanol.
Pfizer.
And
We presented it to Pfizer. I'll show it to you. And DARPA
Speaking of which,
stole it.
you know that Pfizer headquarters is where? Manhattan.
of course it is.
Why are you not, who's here from Manhattan or the 50-mile radius? Why are you not confronting Albert Bourla every day he comes into work and leaves work when he's in his offices? Embarrass these fools.
Yeah.
Shine a maximum light on them. That's the way things move. Look at what Nick Shirley was able to just trigger.
Yep.
I mean,
And that was my last question. To your point, we have a community group out on the East End. How can we help this cause from your perspective up here, or events like this? Do you have any? I know it's a hard, there's no easy answer, but
Well, there is. Get it, the community action, local action, national impact, get the school board, everything that we said here. Find your favorite niche and what you know and
Right.
what matters to you. Obviously, the nurses and the therapists, that's easy. We can teach them. We can implement things. We did it with Michelle, who's also a nurse, Michelle Peterson.
Yep.
This is all grooming at every level, whether it be our grandmothers or anybody else, where we don't have a choice. You don't have to sacrifice your firstborn. You do not have to be a medical deity. You do not have to pay with your firstborn. I think we were done with that 2,000 and some years ago. But that is what is happening of the medical doctors. They take the shot. I can't even tell you about my great niece.
Two last questions.
Number one, thank you so much for your stuff. I'm an unvaccinated individual. I have concerns if I ever need a blood transfusion or my children ever need a blood transfusion because in the blood blanks, they don't say you're getting vax blood versus unvax blood. Blood volume expanders, can you give us your insight on that kind of stuff? Thank you.
Well, yeah, since 1934, I don't think we can tell unvaxxed and vaxxed except for rhesus monkeys. So those of you are still purebloods who are Rh negative like me, and that rhesus is what it stands for, 1934, 1968. Please don't say words like unvaxxed. I'm sorry. This has been going on since 1991. We injected HIV in every hepatitis B shot. SARS-CoV-2 was in every polio shot and every flu vaccine since 2004 when they made it. and then they is Beijing, China. So there is something called safeblood.us. We've worked for decades, and all these people will be in our report of how to make immunization. The word says immunization in the law. If you use them interchangeably, fine. So will we, and we'll give you one that works. We give you full transparency, informed consent. You want the needle, go inject yourself. Do it your way. It'll go well for you. This is the whole point of God. You know, this is, we're separating ourselves, as G. Edward Griffin said in the Great Awakening, June 8th of the pandemic series of 2023. Don't create people and hate and fear. You don't have to fear anything. I'm sitting here with Ebola. You want me to come give you a hug? Most of you have hugged me all weekend. Did you get Ebola? No, you probably didn't. The Bat Cave in Ebola, when did they make that? 1992. What's the difference between Ebola and Reston and Ebola Zaire? Well, I know that because I made the cell line. They tried to release that vaccine over Denver a little while. They tried to play a little Ebola outbreak. The book is called Called for Life, Kent and Amber Brantley. The doctors in Ventura. We cured Ebola, too, in 2014.
One last question before we move on, and then we'll have a rapid fire at the end. So the people that had questions, will do a rapid fire at the end. One last question.
No question. It's just a statement. My daughter, my middle daughter, came to me one day, and she said about sickness. She says, don't take any shots. She says, the thing you want to do is you want to get sick so your immune system could make you well. That's the statement.
Yep. The book's The Day Christians Changed America. They had a conversation with Trump. Hillary refused to. George Barna, he wrote the book. When we know what did Fauci do? He went on 60 Minutes the Sunday before the election, and he promised you the Flunami from Georgetown University. He showed you, and nobody heard him. I did, and we had him. So anyway, good.
Gosh, this has just been so amazing, so much information, and we're not done, but the clock is ticking, so I don't want to lose everybody. We would like one of our sponsors to come up while you guys are grabbing. We have.
Look at the date. That's the CBC News in 2018.
Oh, wow. Jolie. Jolene. So good.
I got a picture together. The Cheshire Cat. Well, you run out, but they gotta go back. I know, I see you in a new light now, Ivan.
Let me introduce Cure Bible healing oils to you, which are infused with frankincense and myrrh. The truth is that for 4,000 years, frankincense and myrrh have been used as the principal medicine for pain, inflammation, fighting cancer, healing and disinfecting wounds, and more. Cure quickly absorbs through the skin into the bloodstream, delivering nutrients and powerful anti-inflammatory compounds directly to each cell. Wherever the blood goes, the curate goes. So just applying a few drops in the general area of concern provides quick and effective relief. Used orally, Curate relieves COVID, cold, and flu symptoms fast, boosts immune function, and is proven to reduce EMF-induced inflammation of the blood. Visit BibleHealingOil.com to read our testimonials and learn more about Curate. Use the code on your screen for the best deals.
Thank you very much. Curate Body Healing Oil. These are two of the representatives and owners, and just wanted to share with you, Curate has been an amazing sponsor of the Stay Awake America Tour. They've been with us since the beginning. Give them a round of applause. They're one of the main reasons, and you guys coming and joining us, why we can go across the country. So, Adam, can you share with us a little bit about the Curate?
Hey everyone, my name is Adam. A lot of people call me Watchman Adam if you know me on YouTube or anything, but these oils 3 years ago, I fractured a vertebrae in my back, and I've been sent a package of them, and I didn't think much about them, right? And I don't take no kind of pharmacia, no medicine like that. And my wife said, try them out. And I did. And 30 seconds later, I was like, went from a 10 pain to a 2. I was like, wow. And then instantly I knew these things worked. So what we got here is we got 2 treasure boxes, okay? All the money raised from these boxes is going to the Stay Awake America Tour, which is very much needed in this day and time. Now, these boxes retail for over $1,000. And we're going to start the auction now? Yeah. It has every oil we got in there. It has burners. It has frankincense and myrrh. It has little black coal burners. You just put them on fire, put them on top of that, you put your frankincense and myrrh on top, and it smokes.
And what did you say were the 2 things? I heard frankincense
And myrrh.
Does that ring a bell? Frankincense and myrrh. Very powerful.
Very powerful.
Biblical.
And Dr. Judy, she uses it our product every day herself.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Judy, can you give us a blurb from the curate, the Bobby Body?
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. So Curate, and you saw in that immunization kit that we have, the Curate nasal spray is absolutely perfect for every variant. It's a nasal spray, and it is proven to remove COVID. This is one of the things we put in that kit. So you get the choice to take these things here, and we stamp you as immunized or vaccinated, and you can go back to work. And if they force you in a mask, we'll give you a true 47 silver or copper mask, and you'll actually protect your patients. No more China masks. So yes, we've given you the solutions we've had all along, and all you have to do is choose them, and we get out there and force everybody to make that decision. Curate is an essential part from both the oils for anything like Zika. So all we have to do is look at the family of viruses, and Curate's going to have an oil that's important in that, and as a treatment strategy for the pain syndromes to synergize with Celebrex and the other pills. It's all about synergy. 1 + 1 + 1 = 33, not 3. Then we get your lowest bang for your buck. This will all be HSA approved, government approved, and they'll give it out at your schools. And it'll save us a fortune.
I'm going to let you guys know we offer 100% money back guarantee. We sold thousands. We've only had one person ever return it. So these oils work. I use them every day myself. My mama does, my wife, everybody does. So this is what we got right here. We're going to start the auction off.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you help us out? Can you help us out? We'll give you Yeah, did you hear about the body healing oil from Curate? This treasure chest retails at $1,000, and they've donated 2 to the Stay Awake America Tour. So if we can start bidding.
Is anybody out there that's paying attention to this wonderful product that they want to sell or auction off to you guys tonight? First, I want to say thank you so much because you guys came here tonight, and we appreciate that. And I want to thank Joe the Box, because if it wasn't for him and his wife, his wonderful wife, Tony, that, no, we wouldn't be here without them. That one I can say is true, because we wouldn't be here without them.
Yes.
But thank you, Joe and Tony. My hearts are always with you. So we have a product we'd like to auction off here tonight for some people. That is, tell me a little bit about it. Who can tell me something about what we're looking to sell tonight?
We got one of our oils right there. We have the frankincense and myrrh, and we have our burners right here. We got charcoal in there. This is the charcoal right here, and this is over $1,000. Just the oils alone, you're looking at like $400 or $500.
This cures COVID. 2 shots in the nose.
What did Dr. Jill say about
And it's
that?
great for headaches,
I'd have
too.
to get her professional opinion on
The
that.
best thing in the world for a headache.
That's what I said. That's why it's there.
And I was paying attention. I didn't know that's what you said.
Can't get $100, anybody.
Yeah, we started.
Well, you know something? This is here for you guys here, and we want to help you guys. We want to sell this stuff. We want to get as much money as we can for
And
it.
it goes
I know
back
that
to the
people don't
poor.
have any kind of money, but you want to start off with $100. Somebody give me $100. Is anybody interested in $100 for that? Hold on a second. You
we
can't
got
all
100
raise your
right
hands
here.
at one time. Calm down. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We want to start the auction, and we want to start the auction, and we want to enjoy this. This is part of the fun that we're having over here. And $100 or $1,000. Anybody who's got $1,000? See, that wouldn't be too fun. That wouldn't be too much fun now. But we want to start it off. We want to enjoy the auction. I'm going to exercise my voice because I want to contribute too. And we'd like to start this bidding off at $100. Somebody give me $100. I got $100 over there, make it 20. 120 over there. Somebody 120, looking to get 130. Anybody want to give me 130? Look, I got 130 over there, looking to get 140. Somebody give me 140. I got 140. Somebody got 140 over there. 140 over there. I want to feel good about the stuff that I'm looking to buy. Here, I'm going to buy something that's worth $1,000, and I look at $140. Looking to get 150. Somebody get 150. I got 160. 160. 160. Somebody get 160. Somebody get 160. I got 160 over there. 170. 170. 180. 180. Somebody give me $180. $1,000 product for $180. You can't buy that anywhere. And I don't want Joe's wife Tony buying it. Somebody give me more than $180. I want to get $180. Somebody give me 200. 200. How much you got over there? $200 over there. That's a wonderful price. I love it. $200. What a steal. You can't buy this stuff at $200. Somebody give me $220. Somebody give me $220. Looking to get $220. We got $200 over there. This stuff is $1,000 worth of product for $200? I can't believe that. Somebody give me $240. Somebody give me $240. Looking to get $240 for it. We're at $200. Looking to get $240. We're at $200 right now. $240. We're looking to get. We want to get $240. We want to sell this. We want a little bit more than that if we can't. Look, it's all about God and America first. This is an unbelievable product. We need to sell this stuff. We want to get a little bit more than 240. We got 240. Look at get 240. You got 240 over there, but you were the 200. You were the 200. How can you go to 240? But that's okay. We'll take that extra $40. Thank you so much. $240 we got for the medication over here. You're going to feel great. You got to get this stuff. I want this for myself. I would put 240, but I don't have it. So I'm going to go with 240 right now. Looking to get 260. Somebody give me 260. Want to get 260? Anybody out there interested in the product? 260. We're at 240 right now. We're at 240. Going once. Going twice. What did I hear? 240 sold. There was somebody over there.
Who's the 240? Raise your hand.
There he is. What the hell? You know, he was a late comer, but he was here. And he was here last night, too. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Is there anything else we want to auction? Anybody want to get rid of something from the garage? I feel like auctioning. I would like to auction something. Anybody getting kind of that want to sell? Nothing? Oh, my God. Joe Scarf. All the scarves were given away by Elvis last night. Elvis gave all the scarves away.
Thank you so much.
But again, thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny, you're not done.
I'm sorry.
Do some prints.
Oh, I'm so happy. I want to stay here. I love this. Give me the microphone. I feel like talking to somebody.
Trennis and Stewart.
Somebody.
Trennis and Stewart. There they go.
Trennis.
Trennis.
Hey, I got to thank Trennis. Thank you so much for being here tonight. You know, Stuart Rhodes, wow. Was I educated tonight? Oh, my God. I learned stuff. I was very upset when I learned tonight. But, you know, we're hoping to be here tonight to do something about it. We want to do something about it. That's why we have our friends here tonight. What a great place here. The America First Warehouse.
Okay, so for those of you that weren't here yesterday, we have the Commander's artist that has also traveled with the Stay Awake America tour and that has gifted us, donated prints. They are signed and they are numbered. They're limited prints from his actual paintings. Beautiful. So the general artist, this is not just art, it's a legacy because the Commander's artist has come to be known as the powerhouse patriot storyteller. So each one of these prints have a story behind it. And yesterday we auctioned off the Fight Like a Flynn. And today we're going to auction off the America 250, but we're first going to start with the Digital Soldier. And I'll walk this around while Stuart reads about.
All right. So this painting is the Digital Soldier, stands as the bold emblem of conviction, echoing the mantle coined by General Flynn. This artwork captures a Revolutionary War soldier in crisp blue, musket in hand, framed against a weathered 13-star flag, an image rooted in the grit that forged America. The word digital anchors the piece with rugged force, declaring that the fight for freedom has shifted. The new battle this age is digital, waged through information, truth, and vigilance. The quote, "Freedom cannot be restored, it must be achieved," calls viewers to action, reminding us that liberty is never passive. Every element of the piece honors the sacrifices that shaped our identity and challenges us to defend those principles in the arena of our time. Another historical turning point from the commander's artist.
Awesome. And can you tell them that it's signed and this is number 11 out of 50?
Yeah, it's signed, and it's number 11 out of 50.
And this is the digital General Michael Flynn. General Michael Flynn, as he speaks about us, he calls us his digital warriors, because we are the voices, we are the journalists, because we the people are the news now. The news is coming from us. We are the digital soldiers. Thank you. Digital warriors, digital soldiers. Yeah, same thing.
Wow. Wow. What a great picture. General Flynn. Boy, oh boy, that doesn't make my hair on my arms raise. I don't know what does. That guy is a oh my God. You know what? I'm so happy and proud that my brother Joe's got all these guys on his telephone. He gets calls from General Flynn, tells him to hang up something for another American patriot, because that's what we want to get in. Our purpose for being here is to get the America First candidates into our administration and all the people that govern us, and have some truth out there. But that picture's unbelievable, and I can't believe it. You know, is Tony around? Because I want to get the best bid. Is Joe's wife Tony around? I want to get the highest bid. And I guess I'm going to like to, to start that off at $50. Somebody give me $50. Anybody interested in anything? $50. $50 over there to James. Somebody give me $80. Somebody give me $80. I got $50 right now. I want to get $80. $80 is cheap as shit for this. Come on. $80 over there. Somebody give me $200. Did I jump that high? Sorry about that. $80. Somebody give me $100 for this thing. $100 right over there. For you know something? I'm going to put $120. I got $120 on the picture. Somebody want to be sold? Sold. Sorry about that. I'm just selfish. Anyway, where we at? I forgot. Somebody tell me. So where are we at, James? 220 or 120? $120. They're gonna get 140. Somebody get 140. Got 140. $200 over there. $200. Don't waste my breath here. $200 over there. Looking to get 220. Anybody interested in for 220? $220. You can't beat that thing. James, thank you very much. We got $220 on this picture. This picture is unbelievably beautiful. You know what? I want this picture of my brother Joe's office. Where's Tony? What are we at? I forgot where we're at. $220 over here. James, somebody give me 240. 240 for the picture. Somebody's got it. I know somebody's got 240. Who doesn't want this in there? Who doesn't want this in their office? Somebody before James, they're looking to get 240. Somebody give me 240. Got 240 over there, looking to get 260. Anybody want to get 260? 240 over there, looking to get 260. Somebody give me 260. 240 over there to the best auction. This is unbelievable. What a great picture. I want this picture of myself. Got 240 over there. Somebody give me 260. Anybody interested in 260? Looking to get 260. Don't make me waste my breath. 260 over there, looking to get 260. No, we're still at 240. Somebody give me 260. Anybody interested? 240 going once, 240 going twice. So 240 over there. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless America. God bless America. God bless Ivan Raiklin, too. God bless you, Ivan. Love you, man. Anything else you want to sell?
I'm behind the scenes over here.
Stewart Rhodes like to sell his hat. Stewart Rhodes hat. That's a good one, man. I'll put some coin in that. $200 for Stewart's hat. Somebody give me $200. I got $300 for the hat.
Last but not least, thank you, Ivan. Last but not least, we've got the.
I don't know. Do I want to give gifts, or do you want to auction these off?
No.
We want to get as much money as we can, Ivan. What do you ask?
Right here. Right here.
Oh, what am I doing?
We're doing the last print. This is Michael Marone's American 250.
You're good, James. James Justice.
I'm still working on my auctioneer game.
Okay. Trennis is going to.
Walking it around?
Yeah, Ivan, you're walking it around. Perfect.
Yeah, let everybody see this. I can't get good money unless you see it, you know. Somebody's got some money. We want this here.
This is not
Didn't Donald Trump did something the other day? Said, there's a lot of money in this room. Let's sell it. Come on. I know it. I know you're out there. Yes, tell me about it.
There we go. That's my Vanna.
Tell me about this painting.
Ivan, work for it, baby. Let's go.
Play my song.
Jolene, Jolene.
This beautiful picture was created.
All right, guys. So, America's 250 Year of Freedom is a vibrant digital painting that embodies the spirit of a nation, celebrating a significant milestone, standing as a testament to the enduring ideals of courage, unity, and liberty. This artwork brings together the past and present in a kaleidoscope of patriotic imagery. Three resolute figures, President Trump, VP J.D. Vance, and Elon Musk, are donned in the military attire of the Revolutionary War era, stand in a formidable back-to-back formation, exuding strength and solidarity. The central figure grips the American Constitution, symbolically looking forward into the nation's future, while the other face the lands they've safeguarded, a silent tribute to the guardians of freedom. The background is alive with the brilliance of fireworks cascading around the iconic silhouette of the U.S. Capitol building, casting a luminescent glow over the scene. This imagery creates a festive and celebratory atmosphere, paying homage to the historical roots of freedom while igniting the flames of patriotism. American flags flutter proudly, weaving an intricate tapestry of history and hope. Beneath the vigilant watch of these figures is a scene featuring a majestic sailing ship, suggesting the journey and exploration of our first settlers that have shaped the nation's narrative. Complementing this is a row of distinctive red, white, and blue stars, emblematic of the diverse identities unified under the banner of American identity. Unique to this vibrant collage is the imaginative portrayal of the president wielding the Constitution, an enduring symbol of governance and democracy as an instrument of resolve. America's 250th year of freedom is not merely an artistic depiction, but an evocative reminder of the nation's unfaltering journey. It stands as an invitation for viewers to reflect on the sacrifices and triumphs that have forged the American spirit. Through its dynamic composition and rich symbolism, this artwork resonates with an uplifting call to honor and celebrates the legacy of freedom and the promise of a united future.
Wow, what a beautiful painting. What a beautiful painting. I might have second thoughts, though, when Ivan said something about our vice president over there. But I'll take the picture. I think it's beautiful.
I think it's beautiful. A couple other folks, I didn't hear you say, maybe I wasn't listening. You got Ronald Reagan over here.
Wow.
You got Abraham Lincoln over here in the backdrop.
Abraham.
George Washington.
Wow. The
And
detail.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that looks like Andrew Jackson.
Well, the second greatest president ever, I think. Right after Trump, of course.
Yeah.
Teddy didn't make it. He's
Very
in Sagamore
nice.
Hill.
Very nice.
He's in Sagamore Hill. Who was the artist that made this stuff? It almost looks like a print. Is that a painting? Do you know anything about it, Ivan?
I'm going to leave that answer to you.
I have no idea myself, but I'll take it for $100. Everybody else.
Whoa.
It's numbered. It's 26 out of 50. This one's numbered and signed. It's 26, number 26 only out of 50.
50 prints, that's what it is. 26 out of 50.
Very
you know,
nice.
my dad invested in a lot of prints too, and I know he made a lot of money off those. You buy something beautiful like this, you never know what the value it is. Almost like gold and silver. You know, this is an investment like gold and silver. This is a beautiful painting that I hope Tony doesn't buy again. But if she does, I know one thing. I think Joe in the American First Warehouse will find a home for it. I think there's got to be some spot around here that isn't covered. But anyway, I think we're looking to get $50. Let's start with $50 for this. Is anybody interested? Well, I knew everybody was interested in $50. Don't waste my breath. $50, looking to get 60, 70, 60, 80, make it 80, $100. $100, somebody give me 100. Anybody with $100? Got $100 over there, looking to get 120. Anybody got me 120? Got $100 over there, somebody give me 120. Anybody? Steve, Tracy, anybody? They don't want to give their paycheck up for that. $120, it was being Joe's office anyway. $120, anybody want to give us a little bit more? Looking to raise money. We're looking to raise money, and I know, James, you can't outbid yourself. Not allowed to. Can't outbid yourself. But look, we like to sell this item. We like to sell this item, make some money, make America great, and everything that comes with it. So we're at $120. So anybody want to give me 140? Looking to get 140? Looking to get 140? Somebody give me 140. God, no, 140. Joe, give me 140. Somebody give me 160. $160. Looking to get 160. Got 60 over there. Somebody give me 160. I got 160. Looking at 170. Let's go to 180. I'm getting $180. Anybody want to give me $180? Got $180 over on the bed. Looking to get 180. Somebody give me more than $180. Anybody want to give me? Anybody want to give me a little bit more than $180? $180 we got on the board over there. I don't know where it's going to, but we want to get more than $180. We want to get 200. Somebody give me 200. Joe got $180. Joe and Tony's going to buy anything. James, you can't buy everything either. But that's okay. We just want to a little more money. We want to have some fun. That's what we're here for. We're here to some fun, spend a little money, raise a little money, and make awareness to America greatness, because it's here. America greatness is here. And I'm at $180. Somebody give me 200. Looking to get 200. Anybody want to give me 200? James, you can't bid against yourself. That's okay. I'll take another 200 from James. Thank you very much. $200 is on the baiting. We got $200 on the painting. Looking to get 220. Somebody give me 220. Looking to get 220. That's okay. We'll take it 200. We got $200 on the painting right now. We got $200 sitting there. Does anybody want to make it any better? We want to get any better. We want to get any better. $200 on the painting. That's where we're at right now. James over there going once, going twice. $200 sold over to James Justice. Watch his show. He's an amazing man. James Justice. Watch him. Thank you, everybody. Bro, it didn't matter. You're going to buy it anyway. No, I mean, it's just a great picture. I need original.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your support. And what you guys got to go on the road. That auctioneer. Oh my gosh, Johnny, you're with us. You're going to go on the road. You're the auctioneer.
You know something? Don't talk to me so fast like that. I don't understand what you're saying. Side effects, you know what they are. Side effects.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. How much fun. Now,
I was going to go with the
we did still have scheduled a rapid fire. I got to ask production. Production, you got in Trennis and Stewart and Ivan. Oh. I love it. We have another auction. Johnny.
So you have that. I just want to tell you how I got that, though.
Yeah, of course.
This is,
Hey, listen up.
yeah, this is pretty powerful when you talk about
Everyone,
how great is
listen up
our
real
God. And I'm going to tell you right now that I was down in January 6th. I remember seeing this young lady over here down in January 6th. And then I saw her again today get knocked over on the curb on Instagram or something like that. I hope you're okay. Well, anyway, when I was there, my friend Mickey Whithoff, anybody know who Mickey Whithoff is? Mickey Whithoff said, Joe, hold my sign. So I grabbed this sign. It says Free Tina Peters on it. And I had to walk, back to the Capitol with it. I got harassed by some people. I really didn't understand these animals. But this piece was given to me by Mickey Whithoff to hold, and I've been holding. I sent it to her, showed her a picture of it on the show today. Now it's been signed by many J6s that were here. If you were in J6 or sign this for us, we'd love you to have it. And I think Johnny's going to auction it off for us, right, Johnny?
Well, I will do the best I can for that. This sign, like you said, was a special sign. We had gotten it when we walked down on J6 just, was it last week or something? It's already, I think my alimony check is due on the 15th, so no, I'm only kidding. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is anyway, whether it's, but last week we were down to J6, and we went down to visit with Mickey and all those people we love more than the world. And this was a sign, I guess it was signed by some people too. And if we don't get it signed, we're going to get it signed by Ivan and everybody else too, right? Yeah. What a great thing to have on, what a great thing to have even in the America First warehouse. I think we can find a spot for it if we have to. I don't know what kind of money we're looking to get, but I want to get as much money as we can. And if worse comes to worse, it winds up hanging here at the America First warehouse, which you're always welcome to come and see. You can come here anytime you want. We're open all the time. We're looking to get some money for this. This is a hand-written note, too. I'm not sure if Mickey did it herself or if Tammy or You know, Nicole did it from the J6 community. Whoever printed it, we wound up having this. This was an important piece for my brother and me to carry, almost like the American flag. We didn't let it touch the floor. You know, we're just making a few bucks, even if I don't even know where to start with something that's invaluable as this. What is the number that I should start at? $1,000 over there, looking to get $1,200. Anybody got $1,200 over there? Maybe $1,400. We got $1,400 over there. All right. We don't expect that. We'll take what we can get, and we'll start it off at $100. Somebody want to give me this beautiful piece? This is history right here. This is something that nobody has, nobody will ever have. But whoever gets this, you can put this on. Oh my God! I guarantee you'll sell this for 30 times more than whatever you get it for tonight. And we're at $100. Somebody give me $100 for Gary over there. Gary McBride, I love that man. Gary McBride, the information. You want to know what's going on? Go to Gary. We got $100 from Gary, looking to get 120. Somebody give me 120, looking to get 120. $120. Somebody give me 120. Got 120 over here. Looking to get 140. Somebody give me 140. Got 120. Cooking right now. I want to get 120. I want to get 140. I want to get 140. Somebody give me 140. Got 140 over there. Looking to get 160. Somebody give me 160. $160 for history? This is something that you can leave for your kids, and they're going to be so proud that you had it. Who has something like this? Who does have something like this? Maybe my brother Joe, but that's okay, because I'll get it after he goes. We got $160 over there looking to get 180. Somebody give me 180. Anybody want to give me 180 for the picture? Tina Peters, we need to save her ass. We got 160 looking to get 180. Somebody give me 180. Anybody out there that's got $180 want to go into Tina Peters? Wow, didn't we just learn about her all day today? We're at $180 when you make it 200. So did you say 200, Steve? Thank you so much. I got $200 over there looking to get 220. Anyone who gave me 220? Anybody got 220 for a historic piece of history right here? I'm so proud. I'm even here auctioning off looking to get 220. Somebody give me 220. Anybody want to give me 220? I'm somebody wants to give me 220. I'm giving 220. I'm going to give 220. You know, my brother doesn't pay me that much, but I'm going to give 220. So I got 220 right here. I got 220 right here. Somebody give me 240. Looking to get 240. I know somebody got 240. Please don't make me pay for this. 220 I got for myself. Somebody over there give me 240. Anybody want to get 240? Somebody give me 240. I got 220 to me. Me. That's okay, because I love it. I got 220 to me. Anybody want to give me 240? Looking to get 240. Anybody want to bid me out? Anybody want to bid me out? Anybody interested in this? 240. You know something? Joe cut my pay. I'm going to take it for 220. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Hey, man, I can't thank you so. Thank you so much for being here. What a great show. I got educated. I love this America First. I love America. God bless you all.
love the America First Warehouse. The Stay Awake America tour is so blessed. Joe, thank you so very, very much.
Lock the door. Don't let John out until he pays.
And as I promised, we're going to do 10 minutes of rapid fire. Yeah. Rapid fire right now. We got Trennis, we got Ivan, and we've got Stuart. Yep, we're doing a rapid fire. Anyone that had questions that you guys, you wanted questions? We're doing a rapid fire. So we're going quick question,
more rapid
quick
fire
answer.
than that auction.
Can you start that again? Okay, good. I'm pulling up a chair, man.
Hey, Greggy.
You are getting old.
I am. Older than dirt.
All right, there you go. It's rapid fire. Ask any question of any one of us. Let's go.
Dr. Judy, stand next to Trennis.
I got you.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll stand with Dr. Judy anywhere, anytime.
I won't talk.
Ivan, get up here, brother.
Liar.
Okay. The lady that was back there was asking about our
Wait, okay, hold on, I can't hear your question.
Okay, the lady back there was asking about the corporation being, of the United States being dissolved. Can you answer that?
Well, you're asking about if the corporation of the United States has or will be dissolved?
Yes.
Wow. Stuart Rhodes, you're up.
I don't believe in silver bullets.
Yeah.
I believe in real bullets.
Hey, since it's a rapid fire, my answer to that is contact Ann Vandersteel. I'll connect you with her, and she will answer all your questions on that.
Yeah,
Next.
I'll just tell you, I don't believe in magic paper silver bullets against the deep state. They're not going to give up that easy. They're not going to be like, oh, you got us. You figured out the right combination of words to say, so we're just going to stop. They won't stop until we stop them.
Stuart Rhodes going to get a full pardon. That's right.
Yes, yes.
So, all right, so as Stuart knows, we've worked on his pardon. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of people. Peter Tickton has that effort. There's a number of things working there.
No man left behind. I don't want one unless the other guys get one too.
No,
All of us
100%.
Thank you for
remaining
that.
people need to be pardoned on that issue. Is it going to happen? I will say this, damn this administration if they don't do the right thing.
Right. And they know they will be damned if they don't do the right thing.
I'm telling you.
Next question.
Because we're not giving up.
I think one of the biggest problems is the judges in this country, the corrupt judges. How do we address that? Because, moving forth to get justice, these
Short
judges
ropes
are
and
throwing
long light
cases
poles.
out. And
Well, like I said earlier, I think this exposure, President Trump doing a declassification, they fear that. That's why Robert Kennedy was killed. When he was going to be the nominee for the Democrat Party, he was going to become president, he was going to investigate his brother's death, JFK's death. They fear declassification and exposure. It's the one thing they fear the most. So President Trump should do it, and he should start with the judges. No one can stop him.
All right, so on that topic, right, I say this in jest, right, when I talk about the light poles. But the reality is this. So you have a judicial review board, right? For instance, so if I want to file a complaint against a judge, guess who reads it? Other judges, and they decide if it's bad or not. In the same district, they're the ones that they work with every day. So the same corrupt individuals that operates as tyrants under black robes, disguised as proprietors of justice, are absolutely the people that say, oh, no, hey, no, you're good. You didn't do anything wrong. It's all going to be fine. So, no, there is no resource for accountability. In 1807, we founded the House Judiciary Committee with one of the core principles to be impeaching and reining in Title III judges. Unfortunately, in that entire history, we've had 15 judges go through the impeachment process at the House, only 7 of which were actually impeached in the Senate. The other ones stepped down or were not actually impeached. So you're going to tell me of the tens of thousands of judges that we've put up in over 200 years, you mean to tell me that there's only 15 of them that deserve some level of accountability by impeachment? The system is broken because the members of Congress don't have the courage and the crushing weight of what comes back to them. These will be the same judges that adjudicate their cases in D.C. against them when the machine comes for them. So it's not going to work. The system is so broken and so flawed that there is what President Trump says military tribunals is the right answer. It is the course correction. It is necessary. And I think judges like Judge Boasberg, Judge Emmett Sullivan, Dabney Friedrich, the list goes on and on, Emmett Mehta, Judge Tanya Chutkan, down the list we can go. Those individuals should be held accountable at military tribunals and hung by the neck until dead.
Amen. Okay, rapid fire. Next
What about
question.
Amy Berman Jackson?
Amy Berman Jackson, I think she should get to be, look, all I can say is this. And after they get a full legal process, a perp walk, a just trial, just like the one Stewart got. You got a trial in D.C. I want to have the trials, though, in places like Throckmorton, Texas, where it's a 93% red district.
Oklahoma.
Right? Or Oklahoma, Tulsa. Let's go to Tulsa and let the Christians try these evil individuals.
Amen.
Would they like to have that same perspective? So this is the reality, but it must be a legal process. There must be accountability. They're going to have due process and representation, and those things are all offered in military tribunals.
Okay, wait. Can Trump run again in 2028? Okay,
There is
we
no
got another
process for
question
that.
right here. But remember, guys, rapid fire. Rapid fire.
And I'll say this
Ask
to that.
your question, they'll
Also,
answer.
In response to that question, Trump is a surfer who jumped on a wave that already existed. The wave is we the people. It's been there for decades in different versions. Tea Party movement, Ron Paul's candidacy, going back to Reagan. It's the same wave. He didn't create that wave. He wrote it into office. You can't put your trust only in one man. Just keep that in mind. Make sure,
Except
God
Jesus
first,
Christ.
but it's we the people. So we need to look for our next champion.
There you go.
Like I said, Tulsi Gabbard's my pick.
Amen.
Leaders
Okay,
emerge.
rapid fire.
Leaders
Next question.
emerge. They aren't selected.
Yeah.
Leaders emerge, and the people recognize that emergence, and they propel that wave.
Amen. Next question.
Question. My main question, my first question, can you hear me now?
You gotta go closer.
Okay.
Eat the microphone. Closer.
So, is that better
Hold it
now?
closer to your mouth.
Hold it to my mouth. Is that better? The other day I was listening to President Trump in reference to what went on in Venezuela. And my main concern after listening what I hear is because I believe the midterm elections are very important for this man to get together. Then I realized the only way that's going to happen if you unite a certain group of people, the Republican Party and, of course, the First Warehouse. So my question to everyone here is what do you feel of the midterm elections? How important is that to get him elected? Because I'm looking back when he wasn't in office and what they were doing. And from what I see, what he did for recently in Venezuela, I'd like someone to speak on, possibly what has been done, what has he achieved. You follow that? Anyone want to talk about that?
Yeah. Okay,
let's talk about what he has achieved.
Okay, so you're talking about, so that was a multi-part, but let me address the election part. Somebody else can have the rest of that or another part of it. We don't currently have a system for free and fair elections that we can administer free and fair elections, that it's the rightful duty or the duty of the government and our rights as citizens. The system is flawed and broken. We have machines in the way. We need a system, and until that system exists, I don't think there should be an election.
Amen. Amen.
Let's go back when Biden was elected, when he was in office.
Selected.
Whatever. Okay. Selected, whatever he was in office. I was very concerned about the welfare of this country. I was seeing our freedom going out the window. I was seeing the globalists take over there, and I was seeing us losing our religious freedom. Now, what I see this man has achieved, because he has an understanding that China and Russia is going into Venezuela, putting the arms over there, creating chaos in this country over here, and with the movements, what's going on in the world. And if we don't, my question to you is, if you put the concern over the election, fine. I think a lot of this should be done. After the midterm election, you lose that man, you got a problem.
If Donald Trump, let me say this, if President Trump does not recognize the place that he's in, it will be 2 years of impeachment. He will spend the rest of his life in prison. These people will hang him on the wall as Maoists do. They will destroy his family, and they will come for all of you, me, us next. They will lock you up in camps. Don't forget what they wanted to do with you during COVID, right? They were ready to put half of a country in camps because we wouldn't wear a mask. So think about that, or get a vaccine. These are what you're fighting. This isn't evil. It's a scourge. And we don't have to stomp them out, but we have to make sure that they understand that we're not a communist country. We're a constitutional republic. We have freedoms and rights, and we're not going to falter. We're not going to fall there. So that's my assumption.
And so, I mean, look, just like we said earlier, Ivan and I in particular, but also including Trennis, we have got to get President Trump to take decisive action now to expose the rhinos in our own party, because his own base is becoming black-pilled. When they watch the Pfizer executive standing in the Oval Office and President Trump praising him for doing a great job during COVID, a lot of his base were like, what in the hell's going on here? So he has got to fix that. And he's got to make sure that he exposes the corrupt people inside the GOP so that we can put good people in the primary. So we were talking about earlier, maybe you missed the conversation. He's got to do it now till we get good candidates for the primary that the base will vote for. Because right now, unfortunately, he's endorsing a lot of rhinos that his own base are not going to support.
Absolutely. Okay, next question. Question.
Yes. Hi. Preface my question with, I'm a member of the constituency that is kind of miserable over not seeing what most of us want to see happen. I don't see arrests. I don't see perp walks. I'm kind of like with Stewart, something's got to be done quick or we're in big trouble, okay? Now, what I wanted to know about from others, because Stewart gave me his perspective, how are we at some point going to differentiate the criminals, the ones that have committed treason or the ones that have supported, in terms of getting them in front of the right judges so they get convicted. Okay, I said, well, what about what we've been hearing about tribunals in Guantanamo Bay, where it's military? And maybe Stuart want to help understand what he told me to support his claims. I know Trentus has a little different point of view, but I want to see these people get a conviction. I don't want to see what happened with Comey and Letitia James to get repeated again. That's a major problem. We have to get these people good. And like Ivan said, once we have the goods on them, hang them high and put it on the internet live so the whole world can see how sick and fed up we are with this stuff so it never happens again.
I think you should sell it pay-per-view. And then as well as that, I think there should be bidding, an opportunity for J6ers to be able to be the person that gets to pull the lever.
It's all great. I want to hear your, Ivan, go for the rapid response.
The most rapid response is everybody listening in throughout the nation, find out where your local federal district court is of one of the 94. If you're in the DC metro area, look at the address of the Department of Justice and start conducting mass demonstrations demanding exactly what you just said.
There you go. That's the solution. We, the people, need to put the pressure. We have the power. These 4 people have power, but everybody here has the same power as they do. They just gave you their experience.
Let me answer. I don't believe that's constitutional. Article 3, the Treason Clause, Section 3, says that making war against the United States or aiding its enemies, that's the definition of treason, and it requires a civilian court, a trial in front of a civilian jury. They have a right to jury trial. That's also part of Article 3, Section 2. So we have to afford them the rights they have. That's why I say the first important point is exposure. Start with the judges. Those judges be removed from the bench, and you put good judges in place to then put on trial the bad judges. But we need to make sure that we comply with the Constitution. You can't just throw it out. Now, when it's finally destroyed, we fall back. If it is finally destroyed, you have no recourse. We fall back on the Declaration of Independence. We have the right as the people to alter or abolish any form of government, including this one. But so long as there is a Constitution, I'm oath sworn to defend it.
Absolutely. And I don't think any of us said anything but to follow the Constitution. We need to follow the Constitution. We need to do it by the rule of law, but we need to add pressure. And we keep asking the same questions. The same questions. We're trying to get the answers from these brilliant people up on stage. We already have the answer. We need to do by the rule of law under the Constitution, and we need to apply pressure. That means activate. That means do something. Do something. Individually, do something. Another question?
Okay, Dr. Judy, Joe, okay, we spoke about where if we can get the immunization records and cards of the New York State, our family and friends, Dr. Judy, you'd mentioned the fact that you would come back and in the fact that you would give us the immunization that we need and stamp it.
We'll give you the full informed consent.
That's something that that I think you could pack this warehouse and people get the word out. The fact that if, you know, I'll figure out where to get the immunization cards, okay? And then we just have to get our records from the state. And then we have
America's
come here.
First Warehouse will do immunizations for everybody.
Exactly.
Be that place
That's
to
definitely.
go with the next plan.
We get the
show up here. Yes, I
because
promise
it's your
we show
kids.
up here.
You would get your kids' records. You would get your children's records. Okay, and for yourself, because the next time they try to play a COVID, you've got an immunization card that you don't have to deal with.
Because they're coming after you, and they want you to on these CBCs. We're going to be with Catherine Austin Fitts and the National Health Federation.
Right.
And they're coming after
So,
you
Joe,
in Europe. You have to
This is a really good thing.
Yeah, it's
I think you can
very
pack this
important
place.
you have a card, because you just can't say, I was a conscientious objector. It's not going to work. You've got to be immunized.
Yeah. And one other question was Nuremberg 2.0, is that valid at all in the fact that that would happen with the COVID, with the treason? I mean, with Nuremberg 2.0?
Even beyond, I mean, so much more beyond.
No,
These
because
people are
supposedly it was being worked on with
These
French.
people are criminally liable, and they were all
Right,
in
but that French guy was working on it like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that he was getting all these people, supposedly. No? Have you heard about that, Trev?
Look, I have a
I
very
don't know.
different perspective on this whole idea.
Yeah.
If you come and try and force a shot
I'm
on
not gonna
me
shoot
or
you.
my family, that ideology,
I'm
is that what
not
you're
gonna-
talking about?
No.
I'm gonna give you full informed consent as to what is nutrition and what is not, and what is immunity, and then I'm going to, hand you a few powders that you can drink and a little bee pollen, and I'm gonna give you the COVID essential oil back there, a nasal spray, non-invasive, and yeah, I'm not gonna shoot you. I'll tell you what's in the shots, and you'll get a choice, but you won't come here to get shot in America.
No, I thought you were talking about carrying around a vaccine card.
No, you have to have one on file because they'll
Like
come
hell
after
I do.
you. Hey, I mean,
You try and put a shot in me, you're going to get shot.
no, I'm not going to shoot you.
Shot for shot.
You,
Them.
Shot for shot.
I always say this.
I'm a little more radical.
I'm going to agree with Trennis. You try that in my household, one of us ain't coming out alive, and I look forward to a jury of my peers.
Amen. Yeah, how about you guys go off to the side? It'd
They
be
got a
more-
long drive with me.
Yeah,
It's
they
all
got a
right.
long drive. Here, another question.
They're driving me to Washington.
Good evening. How you doing, everyone? I wanted to say thank you. The first thing is that I definitely heard about the actions that are going to be taken from the legal side. By the way, my name is George, and I'm a Navy veteran. I worked in the legal department.
George.
So the real concern that I have, I understand about due process. You also have to understand there's personnel in there as well. The challenges that I came across in seeing is unethical procedures. You have to understand that I had the challenge with woke personnel, and because due process is very important, people are gatekeeping in that process as well. You may want to look into the people that has been separated. The administration hearing has actually much more importance of detail of what the gatekeepers did to the people that was saying and speaking up, blowing whistles. So you might want to just review, just in case when you go up to that next level, view the process. The personnel that has been gatekeeping, they're still in. The good ones, here we are. So
You mean inside the military? What are you talking about?
Everywhere.
in the military,
Right.
but especially in the legal field. So you have to understand. Now, if you look at the whole process and who's been there, standing up for the right, as a Catholic man, there's been some challenges. People has been following orders. Now, when I was told to follow an order to sign a document, right, so certain things, and I said, the captain, sir, was that an unlawful order or a lawful order? It's an unlawful order because I have a right not to sign something for this person that's ordering me to sign. You have to understand due process has to be reviewed. So just in case, keep in mind, just understand that whoever's in the legal process right now, just pay attention who's the gatekeepers.
At Nuremberg, we hung the people that followed orders.
But the gatekeepers matter. I hear you. It's a whole couple of chapters in our book. You can't replace one gatekeeper with another and put out more propaganda. It's not going to work. We got to get to the cause.
And we might have a whistleblower here. I'm hearing something.
And that's the problem with not purging out. I believe they should be purging out all of
Yep.
the traitors inside of every level of government. So.
Amen. Amen. Any last words for the four of you? Because I know you've got to be tired. And we want to pray and get a picture.
I also want to thank Joe the Box and his brother John for this awesome venue and opening their house to us.
Thank you, Joe.
So God bless them and thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Look, I've got one thing to say here in closing, especially Joe, thank you so much. And there's so much, look, you guys have a positive message. This is a positive message. The United States Constitution is what the communist ideology and the overthrow of America is inconsistent. They told you from the beginning they wanted to overthrow this country from within because they can't do it with guns. Just because they don't raise up arms against the United States citizen as an affront to the United States Constitution and to subvert the will of the people because they do it in secret or they do it because they wear a robe or they do it because they're sitting in Congress or they've stolen an elected position or they've been appointed as a bureaucrat. That does not make it legal. It does not make it constitutional. It is an affront to our system, and it is inconsistent with Western ideology and our culture and our Christian nation and our values. So anyone that brings that war, whether it be with armament or with the pen, That war, those people are traitors. That is treason, and it is inconsistent, and they must be held accountable. I don't care what their position is, whether they're a Mandami or one of these idiots in Congress, Ilhan Omar's. It's all got to end. It's all got to end. Now, I would like to do like they did with the border situation or the immigration situation and say, you know what, we're going to give you passage to go wherever the hell you want, but we're going to give you safe passage to leave here. If not, in 60 days, we're going to try and convict. Well, we're going to give you a trial, and you know you're going to be convicted because of what you've done. So you give these communists a chance to leave and go find a communist country, go find a country that subscribes to Sharia, go find somebody that supports Palestine and Hamas and all that bullshit. And that's the end of it. And that's the end. And we will live here in a peaceful ideology with others who can assimilate to this country. End of story.
Okay. Who wants accountability?
Me, I do.
Who wants justice?
I do. James Justice.
Now, if I were to tell you there's a word defined, the just punishment for wrongs committed, would you want that as well?
Yes. Yeah.
So who wants retribution?
Me, I do.
This is a gift for you, Joe the Box.
Get out of here.
From the Department of Retribution, as the secretary, I bestow you with the Department of Retribution cup.
Don't make him cry.
And guess who else gets one? Amy.
Wow. What a great job.
You are now part of the Department of Retribution.
I love this. Put him on.
Enjoy.
Put him on talking, Mike.
Have a cup of retribution.
Have a cup of retribution.
You are amazing. You're amazing. Holy cow, I can't believe I even met you.
Oh, if any press asks, I'm America's Secretary of Retribution. Not affiliated with any political party or candidate.
Everybody, we would like all the speakers to come up on stage. Yes, speakers, musicians, everybody. Please, the speakers come up stage. We'll get it. And you guys, I've got to share how much gratitude I am to Joe in the America First warehouse, but also the production. Oh my gosh, you guys have been fantastic. Teresa, the guys upstage in production. If you guys can come downstairs too, we'd love a picture with you guys. You've been fantastic. You've made it seamless. So professional. You've elevated the Stay Awake America tour. So Martin and Bill and all the get in here, please. You're absolutely everybody. Woo! I get to.
Jesus did it. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for the warehouse. Keep changing lives in this warehouse. Good. John. Ivan's view is much lower than mine. Yeah, I'm good. Matt Gotchman, Margie Gotchman. Great patrons. Thank you. Oh, my God.
Now, we have a photographer is that right? So we want everybody up on stage and we want to get a picture. Hey, Joe, can you and I, Joe, can you and I and Tony stand right up front? Tony. However, wherever the photographer is. Free to, yeah, absolutely. Scooch just that way a minute. Everybody that's still in the warehouse. We're going to keep the free Tina sign. We're going to keep that open. Yeah, perfect. There we go. Do I pull this out so then people could be behind it?
Everybody. I'm part of everybody.
Got the back for me? Is it perfect? Thank you. Is it good? Yeah, that's good.
Get in there. Bring it in tight. Bring it in tight. Jesus, dude.
All right, ready? Repeat after me. Give violence a chance.
They sure do. Sometimes that's what people understand. Julie.
Well, I just let's get
Yeah, you're fine.
just get away with it.
How many pictures did it take somebody to give me a picture?
I'm not gonna be there. Can you put the lights on us?
Holy smokes.
We're asking if they can put the lights on. Photographer.
I see Gary, I see Mike, I see everything. Got the flash, he's got the flash. Hey, this place, huh? Another one, Steve, by the door. This door. Hurry up, Steve. Come on, Steve. Look at all these papers.
You have a table behind you.
Okay, break.
Who am I looking at?
Come on, Steve. Come on, Steve.
Yeah.
Come on, John.
Well, when somebody in the picture, what are you holding up? Let's go.
We gotta go to DC.
Everybody smiling, everybody looking forward.
That's a marauder. I think it's
Yeah.
So let it be done, baby. Wait, you ready? He must get it too.
Where?
Straight ahead.
I don't want to cover your, I don't want to cover your.
What a great shot, man.
Hey, woo! Okay, we're going to pray. All stay around here in a circle. Please. Everyone, we're going to do a kumbaya, so hold hands.
No, I think no.
Everybody, I need your attention. One more last time. We're going to pray. Come together, and then we can get pictures. And Trennis.
Oh, you're fine.
And you can pass the microphone if you want to.
No.
No, I mean.
But me.
Mercy.
I pray that we don't do that.
I'm with you. This is day number 2, 15 hours. I'm ready.
Let's go. We're getting here. Come on, join up. We're going to have a prayer. Please, hands, come on together.
Can you make this all you got?
Get in here.
Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Come on, everybody get in.
Come on, we're getting in, getting hands. Come on in.
I got you, brother. You also have a chaplain.
Oh, we got a chaplain? Here, please.
Sorry, I remember things. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, he'll do it.
How about you start?
Make a half circle.
Fair.
So,
I never heard the guy's hand before.
all right, here we go.
It's brotherly. Never held it.
So, I just want to say, here we go. I just want to say we have a chaplain here that's going to deliver the prayer. But I just want to thank all of you for being here. And I would just say it was an honor to meet everybody. I truly appreciate it. It was a great weekend, Joe. And I think we need to have this prayer. And then let's close out, okay? Let's have that silence. Let's let this place rest on the thoughts and the minds and all that was shared here, the concepts and the knowledge. Let this place be resonating with that information and be shared with others in the future. So as we do, let's please have our chaplain, please close us in prayer.
Father God, we thank you for this weekend, Father. We thank you for all the speakers that came a long distance on their own way, Father God, to impose their knowledge and their truth on us, Father. We ask for protection for each and every one of them, Father. We know what we're facing, and it's much worse than we thought, and we just ask that you just give them courage, continue to give them that fight, that vigor. You've given us this country, Father God, and unfortunately we're throwing it away. We ask that for your protection over each and every one of us, Father, that we fight your fight to get our country back, to bring you to the forward end of our country, Father God. Up front, where you're supposed to be. We are a Christian nation. We were started as a Christian nation, Father God, and we need to get back to a Christian nation. We ask for prayers for those that are doing the long travels, Father, just to give them protection, give them driving mercies, Father, for everybody that's getting home, those that are on their way right now, Father God, and we thank you in Christ Jesus, we pray.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's all right.
Janice, thank